All right, guys, welcome to the stream. We're about to unbox not just one Godzilla 2000, we are going to unbox 4 of them, and we're going to do a variance comparison between all 4 of these releases. We're going to go over articulation, paint details, and we'll do some comparisons with other figures. And then at the very end of that, that's when we kind of wrap up the stream. You guys are free to go at that point, but we usually hang out for a little Q&A after the fact. It's just kind of a little like, whew, we're done doing that. We'll just kind of relax and go about just general Q&A for me and Rob sort of thing. So generally these streams last about maybe 1 to 2 hours when we deal with 4 figures. Let's be realistic. It's probably closer to 2 hours. So if you're hanging out with us throughout the whole ride, awesome. We really appreciate that. We love you guys for it. So without further ado, let me get behind the box right here. And let's get into it. Rob, I'm not going to be able to see the chat right now, so if you see anything that pops up that's, that I need to answer right away, just let me know.
Will do.
So here we are. Here we are, Godzilla 2000. Check it out. Box for scale. This is what it looks like. You've got your front. You've got your side there. Here's your back. Little note from Yuji Sakai, who sculpted this. This was not sculpted by Shinichi Wakasa. This was done by Yuji Sakai. So, different sculptor. He actually sculpted the original 2000 Millennium mold, which he actually was the original maquette designer for it, believe it or not. So, to see him do his version of the movie version of Godzilla 2000, it's kind of neat. And I think it looks really good. So, without further ado, let's open up this first one. What we'll do is we'll open this up. We'll take a good look at the first figure, and then we're going to get all 4 of them out on the table here for you guys to see it. So, something to note really quick, guys. There's no manual in the box. It's also, most Monster Arts box comes with a little floating piece of cardboard that's like a background color. This is the first time I'm seeing it. They don't actually have that. They just painted the inside, or they printed the box color this time around. So, no floating piece inside there this time. So that's different. Now, I know I said no manual on the inside of this, but they do have this on the inner flap right here. They usually do this when there's not any big manual pieces needed. They just kind of save space without printing out that paper. But this is just a diagram right here. Just lets you know that the mouth, of course, moves up and down, but you can also move the top dorsal. It is adjustable. It's on a little ball joint. It's not a ball joint. It's like a peg joint, really. But you can move it up and down. You can't like tilt it left to right or anything like that. So that's a neat little thing. It's adjustable so that when you're moving the neck around, you can get that extra movement. But it's wrapped up quite a bit.
It's saran wrap.
They got this thing wrapped up to protect it like crazy. Yeah. It's pretty wrapped up. So let's open this guy up.
Robo-Lizard would like you to know, Michael, that you are indeed a badass.
Oh, thank you. That was important, wasn't it?
Oh, no, it absolutely was. It's important for morale.
Yeah. I appreciate that, Robo-Lizard. Okay, so here's the figure right here. It's wrapped in a big wrapping right here for the main body, and then it's got some wrapping around the tail.
Tail con.
And there it is. And it's got the usual shell that the figure kind of wraps itself around. Let me just put this all back, and then I'll let you guys take a closer look at this figure right here.
Look at those dorsal fins.
And we'll move
so
the box.
Colorful.
Yeah, it's looking really, really sharp. Okay, so here is your closer look. Let me just turn on this light here.
Yes.
So here is the figure. Look at that.
Wow.
Wonderful.
Magnificent.
I like this time that it's not posed super awkward out of the box, right? This is actually a decent pose that they had it in. It looks good. It's definitely sharp in detail. I think that's something that's lost in some photos sometimes, but the texture on this thing is absolutely amazing. Let's go take a closer look at the dorsals right there. What do you guys think of that? Look at that.
Wow.
That looks
good.
Like looks
coral reef.
Wow. Yeah. I love this, though. This is good. This is great. All right. So that's our first, this is their first version right here. So I'm going to put this guy right off to the side. Let's open up the other 4. Let's get into it, yeah?
Just pulls another one from the
Oh.
void.
Yep. All right, and here is figure number 2. Ooh, gotta love that nice, when you open up that figure for the first time, that chemical smell there, that toy chemical smell right there. It's probably not good for you, but you can't help but go like, oh, that's a new toy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly
So
what
there's
you
number
mean.
2.
Yes, the jaw is indeed movable. On all of them.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been a Godzilla figure that's never had a non-movable joint in the Monster Arts line. The only figures that generally don't have movable joints are the Kong figures. Those ones are swappable heads only. And I think Furious Rajang is also a swappable head, no movable joint or anything like that.
Golly.
Interesting, they're all 8 figures, so go figure, right? Okay, here's number 3. There's number 3, and this piece fell down over here. This is a lot of fun. I'm really excited to take a closer look at this figure with everybody. I think you guys are gonna like it.
I just want to reach through the computer screen and take one.
Bad Rob. No.
Listen, man. This is a long time coming. Like, golly, I've been
It
waiting
is.
for this for ages.
I've seen people post on social media. They're like, I've been waiting 10 years for this release. And you know what? It's still not the right release, right? It's still not 1999, but it's close enough, right?
Yeah.
Close enough. We'll take what we can get. I think that they're saving Wakasa for the 1999 version. So that way that there is some variance and difference between 2000 and this one. That's just my theory, though. I don't know if that's really going to happen. I do know that Bandai did a 3D... Yeah, I do know that Bandai did a 3D scan of the 1999 suit, but I think it's the 2000 suit at this point, right? Because it's been modified and everything. So, but we'll see what happens, right? You never know with this line. You never know what you're going to get. So it could just be a recolor, but there are some subtle differences between the 1999 suit. I think the 99 suit even has a shorter neck, as an example.
I think it was the neck. I think he changed the shape of the head as well, just like subtly.
There's some slight changes in the head, yeah. Yeah, there was, and then the color of the suit was also made to be more green. So, because it was more of a charcoaly green color for the original. So, all right, here's number 4 right here. We got all the boys in the shot right there. There they are. Look at that, guys. You know what? I'm getting flashbacks of the marketing advertisement where they had all the Godzilla 2000s in the shot, all the suits that they made for their marketing campaigns.
Yeah.
Right?
Bro running out of that apartment. That's what I'm thinking of.
All right, so I'm gonna... What's that?
When Bro runs out of the apartment and you just hear his feet go in the distance.
Right.
Kills me every
time. My. It sure does. Okay, so I'm going to get... So if you didn't notice, I'm already behind the camera right here. This is when we're going to take a little bit of a closer look to everything right here. I'm just getting this... Whoa!
Whoa!
Forgot to turn down my phone audio right there. This way... So now I can see the chat while we're doing this right here. So, awesome, guys. Welcome. All right. Sup. Oh, God. Yep. Godzilla 2000 times 4. Exactly. Yep. So, but yeah, let's take a closer look at these guys right here. I'm going to move them back a little bit. And you know what? We'll pose them up just a smidge better than how they're posed right now. Just a smidge. They're actually not too bad of a pose, the way that they are out of the box, but...
I need it.
One thing I really noticed right off the bat with these guys, though, is that their heads are large compared to other Godzillas. And I think that's the way it's supposed to be with this suit. It's supposed to have a large head, you know?
He had a bigger brain.
He sure did. So I've got 4 there. We've got 3. Let's fix 2's arm. Because we want to
Yeah.
show these guys off in a good pose. You know, we don't want you guys to see terrible poses. You get that enough with social media these days, right?
Oh,
Look at this
yeah.
figure. It's not looking good. So, yeah.
Calm the gifts.
Open up that mouth right there. Yeah, cue the gifs, right? Where's my Squidora gif?
Yeah, we
Don't
need
worry,
a Squidora
you'll be able
gif.
to make a gif as soon as I'm done. As soon as I'm done with the video, you guys will have that gif and you can unleash it upon the world. Okay, so these are posed up a little bit better. Let's take a gander at them, a little bit closer look, guys.
Please.
Let's take a closer look here. All right, let me get even closer than that, just for you guys. All right, so let's start with 1, and then we'll work our way across. So here's number 1.
Gorgeous.
We'll just do a pan of all of them. Look at that. Now that is stunning right there. I love this.
Need to get
I
a
love
mini
all of
beer
this.
cooler for all of them and give them each a can of beer so we can recreate King of the Hill's intro.
Yes. Yes, indeed. So, but yeah, look at that. There's our closer look at them. They are looking fabulous.
Those dorsal fins are so vibrant.
Yeah, these are all looking really, really nice. We'll get a look at those feet. Feet shot, right?
Nothing wrong with some Goji feet. Bro, look like he got athlete's foot, though. There's a cream for that.
Yeah, the dry brushing is pretty heavy on these. So there's no airbrush. It's all dry brush effect that you see right there. Let's look at some side views of these guys.
Please.
I'm gonna have to angle them a little bit, so can't fit them all across if we just did it all lengthwise. But yeah, let's start with one right there.
Dorsal fins of the year. My goodness.
Boy, they all look great, don't they?
They really do. It's almost like taking a picture with your flash on wouldn't make anything look bad, right? Wow.
They look so good.
Damn.
Now, I know that there's some folks out there that are saying, like, these guys don't look accurate to the source and stuff, but, I mean, to me, they look good. Like, it doesn't have to be 1-to-1, honestly.
Nah. As long as it's
like,
obviously
when I look at this,
discernible.
It looks like yeah, when I look at this, it looks like Godzilla 2000.
Yeah. And that's all I want.
Let's look at the backside of them. Get a backside view. How's that sound?
Yes.
I'm gonna lower those tails though. Oh, the tails are they're so gorgeous looking.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So here's your back view. Let me just move these over a little bit more. There we go. So yeah, there's from the back. Their tail is nice and long.
God, they almost look red from the back. That's weird. In a good way.
Yeah, and we're using a neutral color for color correction. I mean, we're not even using color correction. This is just white balance, you know?
Wow. Damn.
The tops kind of look like a reddish color, but they're not. I think when we bring out the Millennium figure that Sakai first did, you'll see how much of a darker purple this is. But I think that for Godzilla 2000 from Megaguirus, the dorsals did get rather more of a hot pink purplish kind
Oh
of
yeah.
color, you know?
Oh yeah.
Not pink,
Oh
but
yeah.
they just definitely got more vibrant. That's what I'm trying to say. They got more vibrant in that movie.
Which is why I like it so much.
So, and I think that was one of the other things that they changed with the suit color from 1999 and this one is that the 1999 suit color was more of a muted version of what we're seeing right now. So yeah, so that is all 4 of these guys on display right here for everybody. Let me pull back a little bit right there. So, really cool.
Oh yeah.
How are we feeling about this right here? Let's look at some in the chat. Super Mario Zilla says, I just don't like the random dorsal plate on the back of the head. If it's posed a certain way, it creates an awkward gap, but that's my only complaint. But you don't have to pose it like that to make it look bad. You know, that's if you decide to make it pose that way. But it's adjustable, and we'll go over that. There's some things that are movable about that. Let's see here. Godzilla, King of Kaiju. I love how jagged the dorsal fins are. Yeah, they are, man. They're really cool. Can we see the pull down feature on the head? Yes, I will show that off.
Yes.
When we do articulation, we will go over that.
Good.
My favorite suit design. Let's see here. Oh wow, we got 24 people here. Hey, thanks guys for joining us. Awesome. Glad you guys wanted to take a good look at this. All right, so let's. What we're gonna do is we are now going to look at one figure, and we're just gonna kind of look at everything, and then we're gonna do a variance comparison between all of them. So we're just gonna take really good close looks of just one for now. So let me just move some of these out of the way. We will do figure number 1 for these close-ups, so you guys can get a really good look at this guy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to break out my reflector tool here so that we can see the underside parts of this better. All right. So let's start with the head. Look at that. So what's really cool is, you know, we're not going over articulation just yet. I'm just showing you how much you can close this mouth. And it can close fairly well. And I like that when you close it, the teeth, the larger teeth are on the side like that. Looks really, really cool.
Wow.
But let's look at other details here. We've got, so the eyes are dot matrix painted, but they've been coated with clear acrylic. So they have a nice glossy look to them.
Ooh.
Yeah, they have a nice little gloss look to them, but they are dot matrix painted. They're not decals. They've got some whites in the eyes right there, a little bit of brown of effect. The teeth, the whole face paint is the face paint, the body paint. There's not really much weather details on it, all considering. For the most part, it's pretty consistent. But let's take a closer look at the mouth, inside the mouth. The eyes look good on this one, by the way. This one's eyes, they're pretty much facing the same direction.
Which is nice.
Which is pretty good. We like that. So, but let's open up the mouth. Let's take a good look at the mouth right there. So the mouth, we've got some, it's like a black wash effect that we've got going on right there. So you can see you've got really great details underneath it. The base of the gums is way much more dark than the tongue itself, which is awesome. So that way the tongue doesn't get lost in the details. So I'm really happy about that they did that. Let's look at the top roof of the mouth.
Oh, wow.
The roof of the mouth is actually painted the same color as the tongue, but the bottom of the mouth is not. It's much darker. So that's an interesting choice. But I'm okay with that because you don't usually see the roof of the mouth anyways while you pose your figure, right? As far as the teeth go, they're all right. They're not bad.
He drank all the coffee.
So what's unique about these teeth is that they've added additional dry brushing effects within the crevices. So these teeth are actually textured. They're not just smooth teeth. To pull off this effect right here that you see with these lines of the black, those are actual rivets in the teeth that are in the sculpt. So that's actually really cool. He's got his front teeth right there. You can't see it that well because of the lighting, but let me turn on another light, shine it up on there. He does have front teeth, I promise. Let me just get that right there.
Ah,
See that? He's got front teeth. It's just the so. But yeah.
Yes.
So, but yeah. As far as the teeth go, though, yeah, they're okay. Let me move this farther back so it's not so blowing out the figure. But yeah, I don't think it looks bad with the dry brushing on there. There's a couple color hues in there besides just the yellow. There's like a darker orangish color within there too, and it blends. The blending on the gum area looks good too, actually. For as small as these teeth go, I'm all right with that. This looks good. So, but yeah, the teeth look great in my opinion. Let's look at other parts of this right here. Let's look at the dorsals really quick on the back of the head. So there's your dorsal right there. So here's the thing. I'm not going to demonstrate it just yet. I promise we will get to it though with the articulation. But for now, here's your top dorsal. This is the one that can move back and forth. This top one right here. The rest of this though, it's all stationary. All of the regular dorsals don't move or anything like that. But look at the detail on these suckers. Holy smokes.
Video gonna be 45 minutes long. Phew.
Look at that.
Gorgeous.
Wondrous. So, and then let's look at the rest of the side of the, here's the rest of the body right here. It's all pretty much a consistent color. You know, it's not super green by any means, but here, let me take the reflector out from underneath that. So, but here's the bottom of the feet right there. I'll let you guys look at the tail.
Josh Knott has a question.
What's up, Josh?
Do you think we'll get any news regarding the new Godzilla 94 and Little Godzilla that was teased way back in April of last year, closer to Godzilla Day?
Oh, Josh. I hope you're setting up a good joke here because that was an April Fool's joke.
Oh
That was an April
no!
Fool's joke that I did. That was me. That's not a real thing.
Damn. He had
Sorry,
me going.
dude.
I'm like, wait.
Yeah, you're like, wait a minute, right? I'll maybe if we have time during the Q&A, I'll even pull it up for you guys. But yeah, that was me. That's not real. That was an April Fool's prank.
Drats.
Sorry, bud. I know, right? I wanted to believe. So sorry, dude.
I want to.
All right, so here's the front of the body right here. Let me pose it back a bit so we can see a little bit more of the chest and the neck area. What do you guys think of that? Look at that. The detail is just so sharp. I love this. This is something that you can only really get with the MonsterArts stuff. The hard plastic that they use really just makes a lot of that detail pop. X Plus has got that kind of stuff too, but they use soft vinyl, so it's a little hard to get these crisp details on the sculpt. Jeez. Look at that, though. Yeah, and the feet, I've seen some feet online of this figure where they're dark in the back, and then they're just like, it just like cut off, and then they're just white in the front. So this is actually a well-balanced version of it. We'll take a look at the other ones when we do the variance comparison part of it, but this one seems to be actually quite balanced when it comes to the feet paint right there, compared to what I've seen elsewhere. Oh, you know what? We forgot the hands. Let's look at the hands really quick. So hands look good too. They got the same kind of dry brush effect on there. This one's a little bit more dirtier towards the tips.
Chocolate
but yeah,
cake.
As you can see, there's really no weathering on this figure at all. When it comes to shading or anything like that, it's like sometimes these Godzilla figures have some slight shading in them. Like 1989 had some shading in it, but this one has no shading. The only type of shading that you're seeing is just basically shadows being casted from the sculpt itself. I really appreciate this though, right here. Look at that. Look at this. it just doesn't show off as well on camera as it does
Mm.
in person right there. But like that detail, like look at all that. Like it's really like it's just not flat. Like we've got parts sticking up quite a bit. Like they're like mini spikes, you know.
Yeah, look awesome.
But I really like the paint blending on the dorsals though. That it's very nice airbrush effect that they've got on here. They really took their time with it.
It's not.
By the way, if anybody's ever wondered how they do these, yeah. And by the way, if anybody ever wanted to know how they assemble these figures on the assembly line, every single dorsal that you see that's a large dorsal up to about, I think about maybe here, all of them are individually glued into the figure. Every single one of them. Yep. This right here at the top, this is casted onto the head though. And then the lower parts right here on the tail, these guys are casted onto these smaller parts right here. But the larger parts, all of this stuff that you see on the back, this is all this is all individually glued in on the assembly line.
Jeez.
And there's a lot. There's a lot to do.
Yeah.
So, all right. Let's go to variance, yeah?
Yes.
Let's do some variance. So this is number 1. So we already kind of talked about 1 really, but I'm going to just kind of recap it really quick. Let me move the camera just a little bit higher too for this. Okay. Let me get my reflector tool out and we'll be good to go. Okay. So for the most part, this one, the eyes look mostly forward in the front, which is really great. A lot of people like eyes that look forward. They're not looking off to the side so much. They look off to the side just a little bit, but that's just traditional Monster Art stuff for Millennium stuff. They don't like to usually have them facing forward, but for the most part, this is pretty good. You get the whites of the eyes towards the back, the pupils in the front. The tongue, you know, it's got that dark wash right there. The teeth look pretty good. Yeah. Both sides look great.
Gorgeous.
Let's take a look at number 2.
Hello, number 2.
All right, so here's number 2. Okay, so one thing I noticed about number 2 right away is the head is more shiny than the first one. So I'm just seeing that. Just maybe it's just me, but I think it's definitely more shiny. Yeah, it's definitely more shiny. This one's got more of a matte on it. This one's got a little bit of a semi-gloss effect on the top of its head. So that might be a little bit of an overspray that they did.
It's the
But
yoga
for the
effect.
most part, it still looks good. The teeth on this one aren't as vibrant. They're more of a lighter color, so people might like that. So this is what we talk about when we're saying variance. Things aren't going to be 100% one-to-one between figures, and so that's what we kind of want to explore when we're looking at this. So the teeth on this one, they're not as saturated or vibrant in color. They're a little bit more of a whiter bone color, which that might be appealing to you. The mouth, the wash in the mouth, especially on the lower teeth, is also, there's a lot more in this one. And the eyes look good on this one too, from what I can tell. They look good.
Damn.
Yeah, I think that looks great though. It's hot. It's hot.
It's
I can
hot.
definitely see that this has got more gloss on it because look at this. This is the matte finish right here, and then you can see how much more reflective this is on this side. So
Yeah.
this one's got a little bit of extra. It's got a little bit of extra sealer on it. That's what that is. So, but other than that, the head didn't look too bad. I actually like the teeth on that one a little bit better. I like that lighter color instead of the more vibrant. So here is number 3 though. Number 3's eyes are looking okay too. They don't look too bad. It's honestly, it's quite hard to tell when the eyes are so dark in color, but from what I can tell, they look mostly straight. So that's good. The wash on the tongue on this one isn't as deep as the other 2 that we just looked at. It's a little bit lighter. So it's a little bit lighter. They're not as vibrant on the top for the teeth, but on the bottom, they're definitely just as vibrant as the first one. See the roof of the mouth, too. Yeah, the roof of the mouth is about the same, too. Look at that. Look at that mug.
It's the mug of a winner.
I mean, Sakai did a really good... Sakai did a really good job with this. I think it looks really good. Yeah, there's a little bit of black gum going on right there on the side, too.
It's because he doesn't
But
floss.
for the most part... Yeah, exactly. Just got done eating a whale. A whole whale, man. So, but yeah, that looks okay. Let's look at number 4. Okay, so 4's eyes looks like they're looking a little bit more out because I don't think I remember seeing white towards the front on the other ones. Yeah, the other ones didn't have any white on the front, so these ones are looking a little bit more out. But
They look great from the
they
side.
look bad still. Yeah, they look great from the side. This one's probably got the heaviest, weathering black wash in the mouth out of all of them. The teeth are still vibrant in color. They're actually, the top row's got a little bit more black wash throughout too. Maybe not so much on this side, but on the other side, definitely. Like there's definitely a lot more black wash in that side right there. But for the most part, it's got its variances, but as far as the color on the main body and the head part, like it's mostly the same, other than figure number 2 having a little bit more extra sealer on its head. The other 3 look great, though. They have that matte look to them.
Very Matthew.
All right. Let's look at... So we're going to go back to figure number 1, guys. We're going to look at the chest and the neck area. I'm going to go ahead and close the mouth for this part right here. Okay. Oops. So, but yeah, there's... we're just going to scroll all the way down because there's really not much difference here. There's no major, things of wash differences. Oh, let me remove this. I'm sorry. I need to take that out. Let me start over for that. So let's try that again. So going down.
Great.
Again, it looks like, if you're thinking it looks like it's been painted with this, it's not. It's just casted shadows from the texture, because the texturing it's pretty deep on this figure. And we'll focus on the toes in just a minute, but let's do a...
Uncle Joe says, I'd say Godzilla is somewhat notorious for being wonky-eyed at least 50% of the time. And it's true.
Yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Look at
You're
84.
not wrong, that's for sure. Yes. And that had animatronic eyes, too.
Yeah.
There's the side of it.
When are we having a drinking stream? Asks Slurpy Christ.
That might be a late night stream, yeah? Late night with Shinrob Jura and the Articulation series.
Oh, man. I can only imagine what's going to come out of that.
Oh my gosh, there'd be too many. We've had conversations off camera, and we have a hard time focusing, and there's a lot of laughing. So
yeah, yeah.
All right, so let's look at. Okay, so this is I'm closing the mouth so at the very beginning of this, so you guys can just see what that looks like with the mouth closed. But let's look at. I mean, yeah, not really much of a difference. This one's a little bit shinier in the front. This is number 2 again. So I think number 2 got hit with a little bit more extra sealer. But for the most part, the coloration is the same.
Coloration of awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna say very little variance to note, honestly. Let's look at the hands right there. We'll take a better look at the hands in just a second. It's kind of for the most
Maybe you
part.
can
Yeah.
answer this, Michael,
We'll
because
also
I'd
get a
like to
better
know
look
as
at the
well.
feet too.
Josh
Sure.
Knott asks, how come for figures that have large eyes like this, they don't go for glass eyes? They've done it before with 62 and 64 Godzilla figures.
It's a good question. Sometimes they do it and sometimes they don't. But this one, I don't know if the eyes are that large by comparison. Like 62's eyes are freaking huge by comparison, right? Even 60 and 64's eyes are even larger than this. I mean, these they may look large, but I don't think they're that large to warrant the a glass eye on this. But I get what you're saying. It would look pretty cool if they did glass eyes. I think that it's possible to do it. They just, for whatever reason, they just decided not to do it.
And
So this is number 3.
Snicks asks, are we going to get a new Godzilla Jr. that will be included with the Burning Anniversary version and Destroya, or maybe a new Destroya Evolution set?
We'll see. We'll have to wait and see, right?
Godzilla Day is close.
Just a fair warning for the rest. Just for fair warning for everybody else that's watching our stream, I can't answer those questions, so you'll just have to wait and see. Yeah, I mean, there's really not much to say. This is mostly the same. The only differences that I'm seeing variance-wise is definitely on the claws and of the hands and the feet right there. This is number 3, so that was a good look at that. Let's look at number 4, and then we'll specifically look at just the hands.
Derpy Christ says, but Michael, you're Bandai.
I really need to make those shirts so that they're available to people, right? I didn't wear that shirt today. I was wearing my regular task shirt instead of the I'm not Bandai shirt. I should have wore that. Okay. Yeah, there's really not much differences still. Like I'm really trying, guys. I'm really trying. I'm looking at this and I'm just like the very small minute differences is maybe that you might see like these points of like reflection right there. That's just extra sealer that's been on one of the parts of there, but for the most part, like there's just not much of a color variation difference on the main body of the figure. It's mostly the same.
Which isn't a bad thing. Not at all.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at the dorsals specifically now. So this is number 1's dorsals. That was figure number 4. This is figure number 1. We're going to look at the dorsals specifically now. So I think this has got some really, really great blending effects throughout the whole thing. It's kind of like a darker grayish red-ish purple color that goes throughout. And it's vibrant. It's not dull by any means. Very vibrant coloration.
Yes.
And these are sharp. Like this is not a soft plastic material. Like, I mean, it can move. It is malleable, but it's definitely sharp. I'm fully expecting that my gloves are going to be destroyed as I handle these for articulation.
Good.
Let's look at the other side here. Yeah, I mean, the detail is just insane. Like, that's one thing that Sakai can do when he's doing his hand sculpted goods is that he can really get those details to pop on things like dorsals. So that was figure number 1. Let's look at number 2's dorsals. What I'm looking for specifically in the variants of these guys is vibrancy and coverage when it comes to the paint.
Oh,
and blending effects.
We do have a question from King of Mars.
Go
this
for it.
question is actually directed at both of you. What made you start streaming these unboxings together? You probably explained it before, but unfortunately I missed it.
I don't think we ever did explain that, why we do it. So I'll just start it. So the reason why I started doing these live unboxings is mainly because the way that I was receiving product changed. Before I was receiving these from Bandai here in the United States, so I would have to wait to do any kind of review or any photos of it until the US got it. But by the time that it has already been out, there's so many other YouTubers out there that cover this. I just didn't see a need that you needed an extra YouTuber to just go in after the fact, like a month later, and cover this stuff. And with my time and my schedule, live video made more sense to do instead of sitting in the editing room. So that's why I started doing that. And since then, we've also got our panel of guys here, Figure Mania Show, Kaiju Canuck, and Mike's Monsters, and Shinra Jiri here. And I've always just opened up the door since I've started these, like, hey, you guys want to co-host? You want to just join in the fun? And that is how Rob got involved in here, because Rob is the most available guy when it comes to Saturdays. All the other guys are always busy doing other things. So, and Rob likes to be here, I think, right, Rob?
Oh, absolutely. Because Saturdays are usually my decompress days, so like I'm not usually doing anything unless in a rare moon I have something planned, and get to sit back, chill, converse, look at toys. It's a good Saturday night.
Yeah. And Rob's 3 hours ahead of me too, so I try to make it so that we can get him in here and make that available. But yeah, all the other guys, I think Kaiju Canuck, he's also on the same time schedule, but he's got a kid, family. They do family stuff on the weekends. And then Harold's on a trip right now. And Mike is doing, he's working. So that's Rob is always my go-to guy.
Hell yeah.
So thank you, Rob. Thank you, Rob, for being available. Sorry, I had to go change the light really quick, guys. So back to this one. This is figure number 3, by the way, that we're checking out. So, but yeah, that's the story.
Saint Pepsi is asking if the joints here are all new or old.
Some of the styling is traditional, but there's a lot of new stuff inside of it. As soon as we're done looking at the dorsals of these guys right here and the hands and the claws and the tail, we'll get right into articulation. I believe number 3 actually has a little bit more coverage when it comes to the red color, by the way. I'm seeing a lot more on it.
Oh yeah,
it's definitely. I think this might be the most I think this one might be the most vibrant out of all of them. Number 3 here. I know Kyle sent me a message and he said, I don't care about any other paint application except for the dorsals. I want the most purple. So he's probably going to claim this guy right here. But yeah, I think this is the most vibrant out of all of them. Number 3 here. All right, and then let's look at number 4. The nice thing about these kind of figures is that there's not too much to go over with, so we're actually getting through this a lot faster than when we did our other figures. All right, here's number 4. Figure number 4's dorsals. For the most part, I would say that the coverage is mostly consistent. Number 3 definitely was the most vibrant out of all of them when it came to that coloration, but for the most part, as coverage goes, coverage is about the same. Shading effects, blending effects where it's supposed to be, it's mostly the same. You'll get some small differences, like maybe like it's like a hair difference of like where this is supposed to start versus a different figure, but for the most part, I think that this is pretty solid.
Absolutely.
All right, let's look at claws. Okay, we're gonna look at the claws on the hand first. So this is figure number 1. It's okay on the left side. The right side though it's a little heavy-handed, if you know what I mean.
I get it.
So, but for the most part, it's okay. It's okay. The right hand could have been done better with the balance of that. Let's look at this one's, I'm going to have to fix this with the hairdryer. This one has a warped claw right there, so I'm going to fix that. For whoever's going to be getting this one, I'll fix that for you, no problem. This one's got a little bit more dry brushing right there on the claws. Let's look at the right hand here. Right hand, So because there's so much dry brushing on the hand on both of these guys right here, they actually match a lot better this time versus number 1. This is figure number 2. There we go. So yeah, both hands are a little dirty. So dirty old Godzilla hands. Let's look at number 3 here. Number 3's looks pretty all right, actually. It's not so heavy. You can see the details, those rivets, those I don't know, the bone texture right there. But the right hand's definitely a little bit more heavier. It's definitely heavier on the right hand on this one. So I wonder if the first guy that painted the first one right there painted this one. But this right hand is definitely it's not a good match. Definitely some variance right there. And then number 4 looks okay on the left hand there. A little bit heavier on the underside of it, but that's okay. I'm all right with it being a little bit darker on the bottom. Definitely heavier on the bottom of the right hand too. Or the left hand, I should say. Yeah, so you're going to expect some variance when you guys are going to get your Godzilla figures here. There's definitely going to be some variance with the claws. Let's look at the toes. So you saw the toes of this guy right here. This one is number 1. Number 1's, I think, is pretty balanced for the most part. They're definitely darker. The promo, they were lighter in coloration, but in the final factory version, they're definitely darker. And I think that it's okay because it matches the claws on the hands as well, so it's not so bad. For number 1, it's definitely got that dirty wash, though. Let's look at number 2. Okay, so number 2's got that effect that I was talking about that I've seen other people with. So you can see it's got that wash, but then the tops of them are just kind of white, more white. But because there's no airbrush effect, it just kind of looks like a bald spot, right?
The balding claws.
Right? But this is number 2. So it's got those patches right there. Yeah. So let's look at number 3. Number 3's. Number 3's is okay. It's a little darker with the dirtier wash throughout. Definitely. Oh yeah, look at that. That's much dirtier.
Bro, looks like a roasted marshmallow at a campfire.
This foot actually looks pretty good, though. This one's fairly balanced throughout. Not bad. I think if the foot paint really bothered you that much, you could get some, what is that stuff called? Acetone. You should get some of that and just put that on the nails and just repaint them yourself if it really bothers you. But and you can do your own paint effect on there. But yeah, they're all right on number 3 right here. They're better than number 2, that's for sure. Number 1's got the best. This is number 4. Number 4 is kind of similar to number 3 here. So I think you can all fully expect that those toes are going to look a little bit dirtier. That's just the way it is that they did this release. So either you're going to like it or you're going to hate it, or you just don't care. Those going to be the 3 options there for you. All right, one more part of this, and then we'll get into articulation, everybody. The tail. Let's look at the tail really quick. I'm going to straighten this out here. Tail is really phenomenal. Like, we've got so many segments, and it's painted. Look at that. Painted all the way pretty much to the tip. It's got some light fading towards here because they get so small, but I appreciate this. It's painted all the way to the tip.
You see that movie
So
monster
that was number
series?
1.
It's possible.
Yeah, it is possible. So, and then here's number 2. So here's number 2. There's definitely some spots that I'm seeing that aren't as painted, like this one right here has got a little bit less paint, these 2 segments right here on the top. But it still goes to the tip. Let's look at that right there. You see that? It's a little bit of that blending effect right there at the top.
Mm.
It's definitely a significantly less towards the tip right there, but it's noticeable. It's still there. And then number 3.
Número 3.
All right. Number 3s. There we go. So this is number 3, the most vibrant one of the group. Yeah, it's mostly painted fairly well. This one's got a little bit of missing paint on the top of that one. It's just like literally the tip that's painted, but for the most part, pretty consistent. And then the last one.
The finale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Number 4. It's okay. It's all right. It's just about as what I expect from after seeing the first one. Some slight variances that you're going to see with the tips being painted. It looks like these ones are the most problematic ones, is this section right here, but for the most part, it's okay. Not bad. Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to take a water break really quick, and we'll answer some questions in the chat, and then we will go over articulation. So give me 1 second. I'll angle this up so you guys can see the figure a little bit better. And
Heck
then
yeah.
let me grab some water real quick. Woo. So far, what are you thinking, Robin? How you liking the paint?
That's going to be a resounding yes from me.
Yeah. What do you think, Chad? Do you guys like it? You like the paint on this guy? Oh, that was good.
Nothing like some good
Chat
H2O.
really quick here. We've got, yeah. We've all preferred these metallic pink magenta. I wouldn't like it if it was metallic.
Save that for Movie Monster series.
Let's see here. Yeah. I realize we're about to have articulated figures of all the Millennium Era versions of Godzilla. Granted, not all from the same company, because I'm including those from Haya and NECA, but still, yeah. I mean, for Monster Arts, all that's left to do is 2003 Godzilla in 1999, and that's it.
Yeah, man.
Let's see here. Connell7210 says the paint looks great. It sure does. Godzilla King of Kaiju says, hell yeah! Hail to the yeah. Josh Knott, as Diego Doom would say, absolutely fantastic. Did I do a good impression? Robo Lizard. Simple but effect. I think you meant to say simple but effective. Eyes are good. Yeah, absolutely. Limited Taylor says, heck yeah, I love it a lot. Awesome. Digital Dev, yep. Everybody's agreeing. Everybody likes the paint on it. Hey, that's great. I love it when we all agree on something. That's always nice. Godzilla's toes in crisp 4K. Not sure how I feel about that. Well, you know, the stream is actually in 2K. It's an upscale 2K. But the abridged version will be in 4K. So be ready for that, because that will be in its 4K goodness. Okay, the moment you have all been patiently waiting for. Thank you, guys. We just like to get paint over with first, and then we get to the fun stuff, the articulation bits. So let me lower this a little bit for that. All right. I have to get on my knees for this right here, because I will be bending while I'm doing this. Let me tighten this up so I don't bump the camera so often. All right, so let's start with the head articulation on this guy. So first of all, the mouth has some brand new engineering on the inside of it as well. There is what we call this piece right here. Check this out. I'm gonna zoom in. This piece right here is a snap-on piece. It's a sheath that's made of very hard plastic. So this is like the normal typical ABS. This is like a PVC material that's right here. And it's designed so that it snaps around the jaw. So as far as this goes, you know what? Maybe I should use one of these extra figures to disassemble. What do you think, Rob? Should I do that?
You're a daring
Just to show
man.
off internals?
By all means.
Should I do it?
Yeah.
It's kind of tough
If
I don't really
you're
want to
up
do it to this
for
one
it,
though.
if you're up for it,
Yeah. Let me think about it. But anyways, so the mouth can open and shut, right? All right. I feel like I gotta show it. I gotta show some stuff here. I'm gonna do this with number 2 for this example. So here's
okay.
number 2. I'm going to show you guys some of this new stuff that they put inside this figure right here. So first of all, like I was talking about, this is a sheath part right here. So when we take off the head, if I can get it off,
Jesus.
let's look at the neck joint system. So this is brand new. Look at that.
Wow.
Let me get my extra light out here.
Holy
So
Giger.
unlike anything else that we've ever seen in this line, check this out. This new joint system they have here it's got stoppers on the inside of it. And then this is it's on like a hinge system. So like, for example, I can't pull this up unless I finagle this around so that these cap parts go through it. So it won't come off now unless I finagle enough. But check out the way it looks though. It's like, this is like, that's all brand new stuff right on the inside of that. And it is designed so that you can pull the head and you can shrink the head back into the neck sculpt. Not only that, you can also get extra range now moving it forward because of this effect. You see that right here, how this piece goes in and out like that? So you can get so much more extra range on that piece right there. The head itself, let's kind of talk about that. So the head has a little the head has a little bit of the neck sculpt itself, right? So sometimes the Godzilla heads don't have this. Sometimes they do. Sometimes the Godzilla heads just kind of stop right there, right? But then this one actually keeps going a little bit longer. So that's why it is the way it is with this piece right here. So this, remember I said this was articulated. You can see the hole around it. It's not glued in or anything. So you can move this up or you can move it down depending on how you, it's not a lot. It's not a lot, I promise. It's not a lot. But you can move it and adjust it however you need it to be. So, you know, I've got it all the way down like that. And I can also make it go up. You can also even pull it out if you wanted to. And I'll show you guys what that looks like if I can get it out. Okay. So this is what it looks like on the inside. It's similar to how -1's floating, yeah, it's similar to how if -1 does its floating dorsals. So it goes in that hole right there. It's meant to just, you know, just adjust it left or right, up and down kind of thing. Just got to get it back in there. Thing about these gloves is that it doesn't really quite give. Now that I actually took it out, and it actually moves a lot easier now that I did that. So, but that can be adjusted depending on how you have the neck posed, right? As far as the neck goes, and the tongue is fully articulated, by the way. It's on a ball joint on the inside of the mouth. Let's see if I can get my thumb underneath that. We love our, yeah, there you go. Look at that. Ah, what's up?
What's up?
So, yeah. So the tongue is on a ball joint. You can swivel it however you want. You guys can see a little bit better underneath that too. How I was saying it was darker on the inside, right? Let's take out the jaw. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this with my gloves on, but let's see if I can take it out so I can just show you guys. Here, I'm going to do this off camera really quick. So here's the jaw, the lower jaw by itself, right? It's got a little bit of this part right here. There's no extra paint detail on them or anything like that. Ball joint goes in the back like that. But here's this new piece right here. This is a brand new piece. This is made out of a PVC material. So I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm going to drop it on the table so you guys can try to hear it. But it's got a harder, kind of like a tinny sound when you drop it. I don't know if you guys can hear that well. So, but it's designed really cool. It goes underneath the jaw right here. And the way it's designed is it's got little pegs right there. And it's fully, it's really cool. It snaps in. So you just do this and it just snaps into place. And when it's in the mouth, sorry, my gloves are making this a little difficult, but when it's in the mouth, you can, Hold on one second. So the way it's designed is when it sits in the mouth, this is adjustable. It just slides up and down. It basically, the whole purpose of this is to hide a gap without inhibiting the range of movement within the neck itself. So this is really new. This is a new detail that they've done, a new type of engineering. It's a floating piece. It just kind of goes back and forth, and it sits in the base right here without affecting any of that movement. There's even a hole underneath it where you can, this floating piece goes into this floating area right here underneath it, so you can open up the jaw even further than it normally could. So that's really cool.
Wow.
Let's look at, so I'm going to bring back figure number 1 into the shot so you guys can see some of the range of articulation now. So as far as the neck goes and the head goes, you've got your traditional opening up, right? The mouth can open about that wide without any force or anything like that. That's how far it can go. Not bad, right?
Not at all.
So, and then as far as mouthing close, it like you can close it fairly well. It's when you go to close it, if you close it really fast, it kind of droops down again. But if you do it nice and slow, you can get it to basically mostly stick inside the mouth. At least on figure number 1, you could do that. You can push the jaw backwards into it if it doesn't hold very well. You can push it backward into the head sculpt right there, and it will hold it better. As far as the neck articulation goes, you've got very good range right there. You got left, right. Look at that. You got some nice twisting right there. You guys are curious about the whole neck extension thing. Is it real? Is it true? Yes, it is. So here it is with it shut. So you can angle it up like that. That is the normal neutral pose. You can lift the neck up. See that? How I did that? Goes down, goes up. That is from that new joint that I just showed you a moment ago on the inside. So you can extend it to go up further. This is what was circulating online at first. There was a whole bunch of folks in Japan that were really excited to share their figure, and they just had their figure posed like this in their shots, which makes it look really ugly, right? But the whole idea is that it's adjustable, so you don't have to have it like that. You can push it back down and it looks fine again. So, but yeah, it does go up and down. And I don't know if you see that. You see that? It's more than just the neck, though. This joint system goes throughout the whole body. Look at this. From the head, watch. You see how everything just moved up? Yeah.
What?
That's the whole new engineering on the inside.
What?
Isn't that insane? What?
I gotta get Lil Jon up in
So-
here. What? Because what?
Yeah. So the whole thing, from just the head alone, I'm pulling the head up and it pulls up the whole torso. The whole torso can move up and down to be adjusted. So this helps with poses like this. When you want to lean it back, let me zoom out a little bit. So when you want to zoom or hold the figure up to move its head back and everything, it's only limited by the sculpt details right there. But with that extra engineering in the neck, because it can pop out, the neck, like I said, it goes up and down, right? So it goes up, and you can pose that neck even further backward to make it go up in the air. Isn't that cool? And then as far as downwards go, look at that. What? Now, of course, it looks extremely ugly in this pose, right? Like, no, nobody's going to pose their figure like this, right? But you have the ability to do it, and it's really neat to see this extra articulation. So what's happening here is that all those joints, when I was pulling it apart earlier, they're being pulled apart now to make it pose like this. So that's that extra range that you could not get, because before it's just a traditional ball joint and a peg system, right? You couldn't extend any of those pieces, but now they've got this ability to extend. And this is so cool. It's so cool to have. So say you want Godzilla to, let's just kind of reset everything, right? So I just reset everything, right? Say you want Godzilla to rotate its body, right? You want to twist the body. Traditionally, you would only be able to get maybe this far with its twisting, right? But because it can pop out of the torso now, you lift up those dorsals, and those dorsals can clear the back side of it. Look at this. What?
Son, what?
So you can clear that, and you can basically make the whole body move 360. Look at that. What?
You're gonna have to get up.
walk around a little bit.
Are you gonna have to walk it off? Walk it off.
I gotta walk off that initial surprise, man. What the hell?
Right? Holy crap, dude. Holy crap. Yeah, exactly. So this is really cool. This is so cool. So you can do that as far as like, you know, you can tilt the head. You can tilt this all because like I said, this joint, it pops out, right? But you don't have to make it look horrible depending on your posing. You may have to make some adjustments, obviously, to close some gaps and everything, but just angle just right. Like you can make it so that he's looking just like around the corner, like looking backwards and stuff like that. Like this is so cool. Like here's something silly. You can move this out and look at that. You can move the it's not even attached. It doesn't even look like it's attached. Because you can move it, you can extend it out and you can move it down like that. And it's just so silly, but it's so cool at the same time. Like look at that. You can move the head. Once when it extends, you can move it down, up, down. It doesn't even look like it's attached. The head has fallen off, but it's still connected. Explain.
My hype
It's so cool, though.
has grown
It's so cool.
even more.
So that's the thing, though. If you're moving the head back and you're seeing these ugly gaps, they're closable. You don't have to, like, each part of these is a moving piece. You can move it around so you can close that gap. You know, you can hold these pieces together, push that head back in, and it looks fine. So, but yeah, the torso, like all this stuff, like there's a, you know, the ab crunch is really good. Let's look at the ab crunch really quick. So the ab crunch, because of that, you can extend it and make it go further. Like, it's pretty good. For an ab crunch, that's okay for Godzilla. It's not bad. Oh, I'm getting body... We're going to have to do the body slam pose, right? As far as what the back looks like when you do that, yeah, it can look ugly if you're not careful with how you pose it, but, I mean, it's really cool. You can do so much with that. As far as arm articulation goes, this is cool. They've redone the arms. Let me bring out... Well, let me show you the range first, and then we'll bring out the other one. So here's the range of the arms, just by holding it by the hand, right? You can do 360 movement like that. They have updated the arm articulation with a little additional cuts as well. What's great about this, though, is that the elbows are also extendable here in the arms. So you can extend this just like that. So what I've done, it's very subtle, but you can go inward, and then outward. You can also get Godzilla to do what's called a T-pose as well. Somebody was asking, can he T-pose? You can, for the most part. The elbows can go completely straight. This is what's really cool about the elbows, though. So this is something that they said in the actual description, was that they've updated the arm articulation so that you can do various bend movements. So let's just test that out. So first, Godzilla's traditional pose is that nice elbow bend, right? But in most Godzilla figures, you're kind of limited to this kind of pose, right? Like, so you could do this kind of pose, and for the most part, you could get them only about this close, right? But this figure can go beyond that. This figure, you can make the hands, you know, touch its chest and all that. And that is due to this elbow joint right here. And this is what's really cool. Let me put this back in this place. There we go. So this is the elbow joint put together, squeezed together. When you bend this upward, this joint, it goes, there's clearance inside the bicep and the forearm area right here. There's clearance where you can rotate this. So you see how I'm moving this with my thumb? You can close the gaps and it still fills in those gaps right there. So when you're doing that and you're moving it around, you don't have to have the gap shown, and you can still get this figure to have those hands so close to the chest like that. Get that nice bend in there. So it's kind of hard to see. I'm trying my best to show you guys it, but like, you know, when you bend that elbow, you can move it like so. And you can move it into the sculpt right there. So you don't want this gap, right? You can just move it. That's the extendable part right there. And I don't think any of the other Godzilla figures could really do this that well, but you can have Godzilla touch his head with his arms. Like, they go all the way up here. This is thanks to that extendable elbow. He can fully touch his head. Isn't that so cool? So cool.
Golly gee.
And right, and like they go all the way back. Like you could do like a cool running like Sonic. You can do the Sonic run pose.
He's
You can
rolling
do the
around at
Sonic
the
run pose,
speed of
and look,
sound.
like even then, like you can make those arms go all the way back like that. You can't do that with any of the other Godzilla figures. You can't make them go like that. You can't do this. So this is all brand new. What you're seeing right here. Even Final Wars Godzilla has a tough time doing it. I feel like Godzilla Final Wars was actually the starting point of this style of articulation, but they just didn't nail it. This is all new though. Let me see if I can show you guys on the inside now. I'm going to bring out figure number 2. I don't know if I'm going to be able to disassemble this. It's kind of scary looking. Let me do this off camera really quick, guys. I'm not going to disassemble the arms only because those joints are really, they don't look like they're meant to come apart, honestly. I mean, they might be able to, but let me try my best to zoom in. I'm going to turn up the brightness on my camera a crazy amount so that you guys can get a better idea of what this is going to look like on the inside. But on the inside of it, so this is all the new engineering. So before, it was just a simple ball peg, right? Into the socket, ball joint, socket peg system, right? This is a hinge joint system. So there's a joint, I believe it's a ball joint that goes into here, into the top part of the arm. Then there's this hinge system right here that connects to another hinge system here in the elbow that connects into another hinge system right here in the arm. It's a bunch of hinge. And I'm not going to disassemble it, but the idea is that they are able to, let me see. Yeah, you can kind of see it. You see that right there, that double hinge right there? So it's a hinge within another hinge, all connected throughout the whole entire arm up into the hand right here. Isn't that insane?
Bruh. That
Okay.
I knew about the neck and I knew about the arms. I did not know about the torso. I did not know we were going that deep with it.
Oh, we're going to go deeper into the torso, by the way. The torso's
Giggity.
not over yet. But
I'm
here's
sorry.
the wrists right here. The wrists twist as well. They go up and down. It's traditional. This is what you can expect. But I will say the connection on these arms, the hands, are very secure. Probably the most secure hands I've ever had experienced with any Godzilla figure in particular. Some of them get a little bit looser, but this is nice. Okay, so we already showed off a little bit of the torso movement. I'm going to open up number 2 right here so we can see what's on the inside of it. I will do it off camera though because I don't want to hit the camera while I do it. So unfortunately, I can't disassemble all of it because of the way that it is assembled, but I will show you the first internal that's completely different. This was something that's seen in the Anguirus and the Shimo figure, as well as a little bit of the Rajang figure, but this is how this torso system works now. So there's a stopper. You see that? There's a stopper right here. This can be moved around when it's connected to the figure. Do you see how there's just this big gap right here? It can slide between this whole section right here to give it that extra movement right there. So when it's all connected, you can move this back and forth like that. Isn't that's so cool? But it's not like a simple ball peg joint system. Like it's on a rotating thing where it can kind of tilt back and forth like that. The stopper part makes it so that you can't disassemble it though. You can't take this part off. Let me turn on my brightness so we can see it a little bit more. You see how that works on the inside like that?
Interesting.
So this is all new on the inside of it right there. And same thing for this part up here at the top. It's got that barbell part that connects there, but then when you get to this part, this is that new piece of articulation that they've got on the top. And it does the same thing where it can rotate back and forth and go up and down and go inside. It's so cool. It's so cool. So that's how the new internals look on the inside of this figure. Completely different from how they do all the other ones. All right, so let's look at the legs now. Legs have had some minor upgrades as well. Not too many major upgrades, but let's start with the hip sheaths, right? What's great about the hip sheaths, let me bring this up. What's great about the hip sheaths, you can move the figure in and outward. This isn't anything too new, although I will say this is the first time you've been able to move the waist, the hips apart, and there is no gap at all. Like this is,
Wow.
it's like what 1972 aimed to do, the 1972 Godzilla aimed to do, but they made it better. So there's nothing that's going to be exposed anymore. Same thing with the evolved Godzilla. I had something similar to this, but for the most part, no exposure joints. This is new. Check this out. You see this right here, guys? Right underneath the thigh? Look at that. That is a floating piece right there.
Oh.
Like, what is that? So the top thigh is cut out like this, and then there's a floating piece right here. So you can get even more range with its leg movement. So it moves around this part right here, right? So cool. As far as this joint, yeah, it looks a little unsightly right there when you have the knees all the way back, but you can move it upward. That's the thing. When it's up and down, you can move that in, out, just like so. So you can cover up that gap. It doesn't have to be there. As far as, you know, the shin goes, shin is about basic movement, right? Yeah, for the most part, it's about the same movement right there. I just popped this piece over the plastic like that. So, but as far as the ankle movement, you can move it a decent amount, just a regular amount of just a tilt. So you can tilt it upward, downward, upward. As far as, do we have ankle rocker movement? A little bit. Yeah, it's not, oh yeah, look at that. So we can get a decent amount. Maybe not so much on the outside, but inward. You can definitely do it more inward. So, and it's like that for this leg too. You can actually see this part a little better. And they're sculpted differently, by the way. That's what I like about MonsterArts sculpts, is they're not mirrored sculpts. So this leg is sculpted differently from this leg right here. So this part right here is, it is a different shape. But yeah, you can do that. And as far as leg movement goes, you know, you can make this go high kick. You can have a high kick. You can have him in a swimming pose like that. As far as the hip area right here, it's fully, look at that. You can move this downward, upward with the hip, at the hip area. You can make it go inward, outward. Really cool. Like, look how far I have that out from the sculpt like that. You've got some options. Like, you can push it in, you can push it outward. I don't think this is anything new, though. I think this is traditional stuff that you can normally do. The joint in it looks... Oh, interesting. So the joint on the inside of this is kind of like how they did... Okay, so everybody take note about this. The way that this joint is, you can't see it that well. Let me see if I can turn up my brightness here. I don't know if we're going to see it that well, but this system is similar to Kong 2021's joint system, but it just looks a lot sturdier this time around. So it's a hinge that's right here, a swivel hinge right here that's attached to the sculpt. So if you're going to pull the legs, be very careful if you ever take them off. It's a ball joint that connects there, but it's a hinge right there. So you can drop it. Yeah, so you can drop it. That's the whole idea of that. So it is a little bit different from other Godzilla figures. So you can extend those legs and you can make them shorter. Let's see here. Bring that back down. As far as, you know, lengthwise, look at this. You can spread those legs out.
Jeez.
Look at that. So you can go straight and more traditional, where it's just like a bent leg, you know, kind of thing. Or you can do that, the high kick, as far as twisting it goes, you can't twist these around 360, it looks like. It's close. It stops right here going this direction, and it can only go as high as, yeah, you can rocket kick. Look at that. So, as far as that, you know, look at that. Like,
damn.
Look
Deep
at that.
down low. Sheesh.
Yeah, he can really... So this ankle bend right here is really significant. Like, you can really get that. And with the thanks to the hip spread, like, you can get him to really... Like, look at that. Look at that.
Wow.
That's crazy. Very, very, very flexible. This is so cool. And then let's look at the tail. I'm not taking apart the legs because the legs don't look any different. Actually, you know what? We'll take apart number 2's legs right here if we can. So this is the experiment one, right? So let's see if we can pop that out. It doesn't look like I can. Not very easily, at least. Yeah,
You're a brave
I'm not
man.
gonna. If it doesn't have any give, I don't want to pull it. I don't want to pull it. So I'm not gonna pull it out. But I don't think there's anything new here in the legs. So, but I'm not gonna bother pulling that apart. All right, so let's look at the tail. The tail. Have you guys seen some photos online about this tail?
Yes.
I posted a couple photos through Instagram stories. But this tail, let me tell you something, everybody. This tail is the best tail that MonsterArts has ever done in the entire line. This surpasses the Evolved Godzilla, and that had some insane movement as well. Even Godzilla 2002. This thing is absolutely insane. So, how many segments? We got 1, 2, 3. Hold on one second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30 points. At least 30 points of articulation in this tail.
Jeez.
Most Godzillas have about maybe 12 to 14 to 15 points. There's 30 points of articulation in this thing. Holy smokes. So this tail, look at this. So as far as articulation, if you guys are curious where the last point of articulation is, it's right here. This much is not articulated. Just this little bit. So, but other than that, like, you can get this thing. Look at that. You can't do this with the 2002 Godzilla tail.
My word.
You can't do that. You can't do that. And it gets even better. Like, I have not heat treated this figure at all. You can, how do I even explain this? Like, as far as, like, you can make this, like, look at this from this point of view.
Jeez.
Like, what? Like, it's touching the body pretty much, right? That's insane, right? And then let's see how much we can get it to curl, right? I'm going to try my best here to try and get it as much of a curl as possible, right? And this is unheat treated. Imagine if I had heat treated this.
Bro.
Like, it's still going. And no joint has popped off yet doing this whole process. What are you? Look at that tail, guys.
I am aghast.
It's absolutely insane, right?
Wow.
Like, easily the best tail in the line. And I think that also has to do with the type of silhouette this figure is. Like, this isn't a Heisei figure where the joints are big and clunky looking, or the sections are big and clunky, I mean. Because each of these parts of these segments, they overlap one another. And because of that, you have the ability to twist it like that, right? Let's go upwards, though. Just upwards, like, as far as we can go upwards, like, we can go straight up like that. But as far as curl going upwards, like, oh, that was the first time I popped it off right there. As far as going upwards, like, you can, look at that. That's your upwards right there. Isn't that crazy? As far as going up, though, for the base of the tail, it's always going to be more limited going upwards, only because of the sculpt. It just hits the sculpt. That's as far as it's going to go upwards. That's it. But as far as downwards go, different story. It's uninhibited going downwards. So look at that. This guy can sleep with his tail like it's a blankie. Like a comfort thing.
Oh my god.
Oops, I pulled it out. Too much. There's a limit to the ankle movement, so be careful when you're doing that. But yeah, as far as the tail goes, like, this can go like further into the sculpt. I'm just stopping it right there, but look at that. Like, he can hold on to his tail. That's that's so cool. The tail is very articulated, guys. I mean, there's no way around it. Like, no, like you can do, like, look at this. Like you can make it like a kink in the tail kind of thing. There's so much extra movement you can do.
Wow.
I'm impressed. This is easily the best. And you know what's great? It can hold its pose. No matter which pose you put this in, it holds. It doesn't droop. That's what's so cool about this, is that no matter which angle you pose this tail in, downwards, sideways, it'll hold the pose, which is fantastic. We love this. This is absolutely what we need to see for all of our MonsterArts tails, right?
Agreed.
Like the Final Wars tail has a hard time holding itself together because of the soft plastic materials it uses. This is a harder plastic, so because it's a harder plastic, it's able to hold its pose so much better. Now, I know the reason why for Final Wars they went with softer plastic, because they wanted it to be more malleable so you could get flexibility out of it, but this just goes to show you, you don't have to have that flexibility to get this type of pose. But yeah, this is, I mean, I can't help it, but I'm going to have to do it. Like, this is, there it is.
Bruh,
All right,
like,
so
I get where
yeah.
you and Harold are coming
So
from now.
Yes. So what do I think of this figure in total? Guys, this is MonsterArts Figure of the Year. This is going to be it right here. For 2025 Figure of the Year, this is it. This is the figure. 100%. The articulation is absolutely stunning. It's amazing. That is the highlight of the figure. Besides its shape and the silhouette, what they've done to upgrade this is absolutely insane. And I wouldn't have it any other way. And unfortunately, you know, when it comes to older figures being re-released, will they update it with this new technology? Probably not. Likely they'll still continue to use the engineering that was done back then. If not, maybe a minor upgrade. If there's a change to the sculpt, like battle damage parts or something, they might change some things in it. We've seen some nominal upgrades in figures like the Mechagodzilla 2 figure, the 1993 figure. But those were just enhancements like, you know, flight form without having to swap pieces and stuff. Articulated tail because it never had one before. So, but with this figure right here, this is a good precedence. If they continue to make new Godzilla figures this way, with this type of articulation in mind, I think MonsterArts is heading in a really, really good direction for what's to come in the future. So I'm really excited to see if they do more Heisei figures like 92, 93, and if they do a 94 2.0, if they're going to have something similar to this, that is going to be amazing for those figures, because Heisei figures are, you know, they're the most limited when it comes to them. 1991 Godzilla already is the best articulation for Heisei figures, but for Millennium, this is it. This is the standard for Millennium figures right here. This is so cool.
Ugh.
So I think for the price, you know, you have to remember this figure is $130 MSRP in the United States. And just by comparison, if you guys want to know, like, you know, I know the prices go up, right? We have the tariff situations. We have depreciation of yen to figure out as well when it comes to the United States pricing. But in Japan, like if you order this from Japan right now with your US dollar, this is like $76. That's how big the price gap is because of import, you know, in currency conversion advantage and everything. So it's a $76 figure in Japan, basically. But here in the United States, it's $130. Originally, this figure was going to solicit around $100. But because of the recent tariff stuff, it got bumped up to $130. So, but do I think it's worth it? I mean, yeah. If you can get it for a discount of like pre-order discounts that were out there for like on Kappa Hobby and E-Night Media, absolutely get those discounts if you can. Importing, I don't advise it now at this point because of all the recent termination of the de minimis. You can't get it for a good deal. If you just buy one figure, you're looking at probably spending over the US MSRP at this point, unless the importer is letting you do duty DDP, which is duty delivery paid, which means you can avoid brokerage fees in the United States, and that just means that they fill all the custom works for you guys. But for the most part, if you're somebody that just buys one figure at a time, I don't think it's cost conducive to continue importing from Japan anymore. But especially for premium Bandai releases, this is a general release, so general releases in Japan tend to have a discounted pre-order already on top of the MSRP, so that's why it might be around US MSRP. But when it comes to like things like premium Bandai, like Legion, to import Legion with the new rules, it's going to cost you almost $800 to import that figure now. So it's just not worth it. Wait for the US release. Yeah, don't go that way. So, but that's it for the articulation right there. There's no accessories to go over. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into size comparisons now. Yay, size comparisons. So with that being said, what would we like to see first, everybody? What would you like to see? You know what? Let's start with the obvious. Chat, think about your requests. Put them in the chat. We'll look at them. But for now, the first one we're going to compare with is Yuji Sakai's original Godzilla 2000 Millennium figure. And you guys can see the difference in the coloration right there. Look at that. And I know some people were saying, I saw some photos online saying this figure is a large figure. It's bigger than 6.3 inches. And it really isn't. It's in its neutral form, it's still 6.3 inches. And this figure is actually a little bit smaller because of its hunch. But that's them together right there. This is both of those sculpts. So you can see, if we ever get the 1999 Godzilla, I think the coloration will be closer to this on the dorsals. More of that purple, duller purple color. Whereas they did a really good job to separate it for Godzilla versus Megaguirus. So you have the more vibrant coloration. So I think that's a good example. But that's how those guys look next to each other right there. Let's look at the front view. I will say this, because now that we have a suit version of the 2000 silhouette, it has made me appreciate owning the concept version so much more now.
Mm.
It's like if there were two timelines with Godzilla 2000, these guys would be the ones that would be fighting each other, right? So cool.
I'm stunned.
All right, yeah, and then just a backside with the dorsal comparison right there. Yeah. And you can see the differences too. Like, this is like way sharper in detail when it comes to, when I say detail, I just mean sharpness of the dorsals. They're just more spiky, I guess, right? That's what I'm trying to say on the original.
Damn.
And this one's just got a more animalistic feel to it too. Actually, I think the texturing on this one, especially on the tail, the texturing on this one is much deeper than it is on the new 2000 right here. Like, the new 2000 looks good, but when you compare it to that, like, you can see there's way more textured details in the maquette model. And the maquette model's limited though with its hunched pose, and you know, the dorsals, they all line up perfectly right there. So, but you can't lean the head back because of that. Some people, because they wanted that extra articulation, they actually cut this dorsal off right here so they can get that movement. But that's kind of it. And its head is smaller. It's significantly smaller than 2000. So, but yeah. Who else do we want to see, guys? Chat, are we making some comments here? Let's see. What do we got?
I saw some Godzilla Evolved. I saw Suko.
Absolute cinema. That's crazy. $100, but because the tariffs have jumped. Yes. So I want to go back to this comment right here. Godzilla King of Kaiju. That's crazy. $100, but because of tariffs, it jumped up 30% to $130. Right. So here's the math on that. You have to remember that these figures, when they come in through the ports, they go by country of origin. The country of origin is 30% China in China, right? So what's 30% of $100? It's $30. So that's where that price increase comes from. So that's the difference there. But you know what? Bandai isn't doing that 100% of the way with all their figures, especially the more expensive ones. Like, for example, King Ghidorah 1964. They did not do a straight 30% for that figure, because if you did, you would be paying about $360 for that figure. So they're eating some of the cost to make it somewhat tolerable. So they just moved the decimal over, and it's just $300, right? But it should have been a lot more based off of that. But for this Godzilla figure, yeah, they didn't do it that way. So they just basically they made us pay the whole price for it. So that's what happened there. Okay, going back to comparisons right here. So this is 1999. I see some Monster X. We have some Shin Godzilla, Kiryu Godzilla. Yeah, let's do some Kiryu Godzilla. I want to get the Millennium Godzillas out for sure. So let me put this guy away. Let me grab just a couple Millennium Godzillas so you guys can see them all. And then we'll compare some other ones too. Let's see here. We've got... I feel like I'm walking into a candy shop when I go to my display, because they have so much monsters in it. It's just like, which one do I want today?
Gonna have to start calling you the Candy Man, Michael.
Yeah. Give me the candy!
Candy Man.
You just made me think of Jimmy from King of the Hill. Give me the candy! Okay, here is GMK.
God damn, that's
so
a big
here's GMK.
boy.
This is the normal version. Yeah, he's still pretty tall. Yeah, definitely a tall figure.
Hope we get a Poster Pals release of him, because I would love to snag one.
There you go. Be careful what you wish for.
Don't do
Yeah,
that,
if you guys
Mike.
are hoping that there's going to be another GMK in the future, there's probably a good chance that you're going to see the GMK Godzilla in the movie poster line. Pretty good chance, because this figure has already received its heat ray version, the special color version, if you will. So there's a pretty good chance that you're going to see this in the MGP line.
Fire.
But let's take a closer look there. My GMK has been fixed, by the way, with its head. The lower jaw's been fixed in there. I have a mod that's floating. It's not even a mod. It's just to show you how to fix it, because when this figure shipped, the lower jaw isn't fully assembled. The joint needs to be pushed into the head sculpt, and that fixes it. So if you ever have an overbite on it, that's how you fix it.
Gotcha. Okay.
So,
Good to know.
That's our GMK there. And then we have our Kiryu Godzilla here. This is the second reissue of Kiryu Godzilla. So this Godzilla, it's kind of interesting how these guys stand, right? So the neutral pose for Kiryu Godzilla is much more upright than the Godzilla 2000. So they both mostly stand at the same height, but the head shape difference, it's significantly smaller.
Yeah.
Significantly. And if anybody tells you that the Godzilla 2000 figure is not green, it's definitely green. Like, you can see this is the charcoal gray color, and then this is that greenish color right there. Let me just fix that elbow on that right there. See, you can push that forearm right into the elbow, and it gets rid of that awkward pose. And I love it! Let me just make this more... I want to try and get this more like how this guy poses. Yeah. What's the next one? Who else do we want to bring out? Shin Godzilla is what I heard?
Yeah, Shin
Which
Godzilla.
Shin Godzilla, though? You guys got to give me more than... You guys got to give me more than Shin Godzilla. Which flavor?
Maquette. That's my
The maquette version.
Yes.
Oh. Well, who cares what you think? No.
Hey, man, you asked.
Tail between legs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, man. I got excited.
Okay. Let's see here. We said maquette. I'll bring out maquette
Yes.
if I can get him okay there. I'm also going to bring out Godzilla 1972 as well, because that's a recent Showa figure. Why not, right? I think I heard Godzilla Earth. Somebody wanted Godzilla Earth out here too.
Yes. Because he's one of the best.
I'm imagining my wife walking out here and then just sees me a whole handful of toys in my hand. Just like slowly backs away, backs into the room.
Sorry.
So sorry. All right, I'm grabbing a whole bunch so I don't have to go back and forth so many times. So I've got 3 in my hand right here. And I'm making my way back.
Making my way
The apartment
downtown.
has many, many different areas. Okay, so first up is going to be 1972 Godzilla. So here's 1972 Godzilla.
A goat.
Yeah, so he's a big figure too. His head actually matches the size of this guy's head.
Bro's got a whole hamburger patty for a head. Gotta love it.
Yeah, let's zoom in there. Let's get some mouth open, yeah? There you go.
Yes. God, I love that figure.
Yeah, 1972 Godzilla, which was also sculpted by Yuji Sakai. It looks so good. All right, and then the next one I've got here is Godzilla Earth.
A goat.
Remember, not to scale.
Definitely not.
So there's Godzilla Earth.
I love him.
It's like he's trying to tell him the secret. I'm you in 1,000 years.
What? I have a beard? Good Lord, I
Bro's
put on
been
some
hitting the
weight.
gym
Yeah.
and
He's got
eating
them
his
dancer's
salads.
legs. He is the salad.
Yeah. All right, and then I've got our maquette version of Shin Godzilla. We don't bring this one out too often. I like bringing it out, though. Shin Godzilla is definitely taller. I'm going to have to push them further back. That's how tall.
He really looks like a cinnamon something. But, I love that thing.
If you guys are able to figure out how to get this figure for a good price, it's a solid Shin Godzilla to own, for sure. I love this figure. This is my number 1 for Shin Godzillas. And it's not even a movie accurate one. It's just the maquette painting. It's just, all the details are so crisp on it. It's so good. What else do we have, chat? Let me look at the chat here. What other requests do we got? We've got
62.
1962. Josh Knott, I see your question. Question for me. What is up with Godzilla 1972? His right elbow not being able to fully bend. I think that's a sculpt issue. And remember that the arms aren't sculpted the same. So I think that's the reason why. There is, if you are interested in it, there is a mod, I think, that you can 3D print online or find a 3D printer, somebody to do it for you. But there is an extended elbow joint that you can put in there to fix that, I believe. But I've been able to heat the joints up and I'm able to get more articulation out of it, but not as good as that replacement joint. But that is the answer to that. That's why. Let me bring out 2 other Showa figures. How's that sound?
Yes.
I'm bringing out 1962, and I'm also bringing out 1964. All right. So here's 1962. Shin Godzilla's been a good boy. I'm going to put him over here. So somebody was mentioning, like, why don't they do the glass eyes, right? Like, this is a good example of, like, the eye size.
Ah, yes.
And I'm not saying that's not impossible to do, because we've seen other figures with much smaller eyes with glass eyes. It's just, this is the decision that they went with, and I think it's okay. I'll say this, having the acrylic sealer on top of the dot matrix eyes definitely makes it look a lot better than just having regular dot matrix eyes. Because now there's a nice shine effect there. But yeah, that's, there he is right there.
You
Godzilla
think
1962.
62? You think 62 will hit the poster pals line too? Eventually, maybe?
I think so. I think it will.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, this one never received a special color version, but or a decisive battle version, but I'm pretty sure that they'll probably do, I think they'll save that for MGP. Here's our 1964 Godzilla.
That is a tiny
That's
boy.
right. He is. You just have to remember, folks, that this figure was done in a smaller. It was meant for Showa Monsters to be in a smaller scale. So, the only monsters that match his scale are Hedorah and Mechagodzilla 1974. Those are the only ones that match his scale.
He is very
It's a
baby.
nice figure. It's just he's just very small. That's all. Let's see here. You know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm bringing it out.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing it out. 1 second.
What,
Oh, you don't even know.
what are
I mean,
you
maybe
doing,
do
Michael?
know. Maybe you do know. I'm bringing him out, or her out.
That could
1
be
second. This is a two-handed job.
Biolante. Oh, you sick maniac. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. So, geez, how much do I push it further back on the table? Legion flight form compared to Godzilla 2000. Yeah. She's a biggin.
Yeah, you ain't fooling. Good God.
I feel like Legion could eat Godzilla.
Probably.
I'm not sure if that's canon, right? Head canon there.
Yeah,
maybe she could.
Let's not make more Vor Godzilla canon.
Yes. Don't do that.
Yeah,
Let me bring out let's do some legendary monsters, yeah?
yeah.
Let's do some legendary monsters. Let me bring out Evolved Godzilla.
Evo Goji.
I'll bring out that one, and I'll bring out... Let's see here. I try to do a couple of them at the same time, right? Somebody said Suko, right? They wanted to see Suko next to Godzilla?
Yes.
I think I remember that. Remember, I'm trying to bring out multiples of these so I don't have to go back and forth so many times.
What do I think of Evo Goji? I like him. It's not my favorite, but I do not dislike him at all. As a design overall.
Did you pick up one of those from me?
I did not, because last December was not, you know.
Dang it. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, because
All right, let me
Godzilla
bring
Day
out-
was what it was.
Okay. I got to get a little bit closer here. Carefully remove Legion. Legion is a giant figure.
Heavy.
Requires 2 hands when you lift this up and move it. I'm currently working on 360 photography for this, and if you're wondering, have I changed it back to the adult form just yet? Nope. It's still been in the flight form since I did the live unboxing. Because the next time I transform that, it's... Because the next time I transform that is going to be the last time. Because that took too much. Okay, so here is our Evolved Godzilla compared to Godzilla 2000. The head is significantly smaller on Godzilla Evolved.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just got a small head. Legendary's just got a small head. Let's just be real. That's just the truth. That's the truth.
Thumb Goji.
And then we got Suko out here. Let me get you guys a little Suko action.
Monkey.
You know what?
I have monkey.
When he goes to bed at night, when he goes to bed, he sleeps with his Suko teddy.
You could probably fit
He's
Suko's
like,
head in
bro,
his mouth.
bro, seriously? That's what that expression is, bro. Seriously? Dog? Why?
Put me down.
Why do? So yeah, Suko is as far as his height goes, Suko is a tiny figure, so don't be amazed by that. is tiny. Tiny Kong.
It's a small boy.
Let's see here. What other options? We'll do a couple more.
Monster X keeps
Suko is
popping
required
up.
for all. Monster X. Oh yeah, I'll bring out Monster X. I'll bring out Monster X. Bringing out just a couple more, and then we're going to transition into Q&A. Let's see here. You know, while we're at it, might as well just bring out Gigan 2004. How's that sound?
Sounds good to me. Ooh.
Don't worry about that. That was just my glass case. Okay. I'm going to start it off with, let's see here. Let me put that one off to the side. Let me move Suko out of the way. So here is Monster X. So there's Monster X. And then let me give you guys a look at Gigan 2004 here.
Jesus. Listens
Yeah,
to
Gigan
Slipknot
2004 is a
once.
tall figure.
Yeah.
And then you know what? Who else we'll bring out? Since we already have this Gigan out, let's bring out a 2000 or 90. Let's bring out a 90s. Let's do 90s, yeah?
Why not?
I'm gonna do two more after this, guys. Two more in the chat. List them off. Two more.
Robo Lizard said a lot of some peeps wanted 54.
Okay. Here is 1972 Gigan.
Ooh.
They don't look so bad together.
Nah.
Gigan definitely has a bigger head than the 1972 Godzilla. Or sorry, the 2000 Godzilla here. Uh, 1954. Which 54, guys?
Yes. Which 54
You know what?
would
I'm
you
just
like
gonna
to
pick.
see? Oh, okay.
I will pick. We are gonna do classic black and white because we did color last time.
Fair, fair, fair.
So here is 1954 classic. There you go.
Nice.
And then let's see here. What else? We have 1995 Burning Godzilla. I see that one there. I got you. I gotcha. But which 95 Burning? You know what? I have my other one. It's currently in process of a shoot, so I can't move the latest one. So I will just bring out the classic 1995 Burning Godzilla.
Wowzers.
Oh, wait. 1 second. 1 second. Here it is. Okay, my bad. All right. Here you go. Classic. Looks good. They go good together. There you have it.
And
All
there
right.
you have it.
Let me get this guy posed up here. Let me get this guy posed up for y'all. And what... So here we are. Oh, by the way, can I do it? I think I can. 1 second. I just thought of something. I just want to see if it's possible. Maybe. Close. Let's take some finagling. But I think we can get it to pull off. That's what I like about this figure, is that you can have him bend forward and he still looks up. Look at that, guys.
Wow.
Bent forward, tail is not touching the ground.
No strings.
Look at that. So with that being said, guys, that is... so we're moving on to the Q&A part to the stream. This is the end of the comparison part that we're doing. If you guys want to hang out with the Q&A part that me and Rob do, you are more than welcome to hang out with us for a little bit, and we're just going to just kind of chill, relax. This is our decompression moment, but if you came here just to see the figure, that's pretty much it. We're done with the figure now. But thank you for joining us on that part. I am going to grab my water over here and head to the computer, and I will be able to highlight your guys' comments. So give me 1 second.
Heck yeah.
Head on over there. Heck yeah. So, all right. How do we feel about that, everybody? Did you enjoy the stream?
I enjoyed myself, that's for sure.
Did you? You enjoyed yourself?
Well, yeah, you friggin' jump
like
scared
what you
me with that extension torso.
I like what you diss here, Michael. I don't know what did I diss something? I don't remember that comment. Let me fix, hold on 1 second. I like to end my stuff on a good angle, good shot. Let me just move the camera just a smidge back. There we go.
Just a smidge.
Just a smidge. All right. Okay. And then let me just get over here and have a seat at the desk here, and we will look at some comments. All right. Wow, that was a lot of fun. Let me start. Yeah. I'm not going to start super far back, but we'll go after those comments there. All right. Damn, Millennium looks gorgeous. He sure does. Handsome dude, that Burning. Yeah, Burning. That was the original Burning I had posed up right there, too. Let's see here. 2000 special color pre-scene. We're already done. Yeah, we're done with our comparisons right now. Sorry, dude. I will make sure to show both the special color version and the regular one in the variance comparison photos that I do. So I'll show those off. No problem. Please, 1972. Yeah, we're done. Sorry, guys. We're done with the comparisons. We got to wrap up eventually. So, okay. Yeah, I'm definitely need this new Godzilla 2000. Yeah, absolutely. 100%. Grab this figure. If you can go grab it, grab it.
Yeah, seems like it's going to pay for itself.
You think Burning Godzilla's eyes burn? If I'm remembering correctly, his eyes were white in the previous movies. I mean, you know what's interesting? If you didn't know this, if you watch any of the Heisei movies or just look at stills, the eyes gradually get more and more red throughout every single movie, almost like they were planning on doing it.
Damn.
Wow. I have one last suggestion. Yep, we're done. Monster Arts Orga when? Maybe. Eventually, right?
Would love to see it.
Yeah. Let's see here. The new Kiryu that was showcased for the metal build at Shanghai. Is that something that you'll be picking up for the cool factor? Maybe possibly review it. Yes, I am going to be picking that one up because I think that it looks really cool. I don't know any details about metal build, too much details about it. So eventually I am going to get more details on that. I think I will cover that on my social media as well for people that are interested in that figure. Talking to Tamashi Nations right now, and we're trying to make arrangements on how to do that because I'm not even sure if metal build is even brought to the United States. I don't know much about it at this point, so it might be an import thing only. I know that metal build is mostly made of Gundam figure though, and this new line that they're doing is essentially a crossover series. So it's supposed to be like a crossover lineup, like basically they're reaching out to different IPs and their creators, the concept artists and all that stuff, and they're just asking them like, hey, if you would want to redesign your character, what would you want it to be, like with no limits, no restraints. So we don't know who designed this new Mechagodzilla, but I was talking to the guys about this, and I think it might be Nishikawa, who did the original concept design for Kiryu. So I think they might have reached out to him and had him do a redesign of it. So I'll be picking it up for sure, though. Let's see here. No, they red, yellow, orange. They had lights inside and daytime light. They were pale white, though. At least the sclera, yeah. Do you think they'll make a special color version of this one like they did other 2000? Also great stream. Hey, thanks, Chase. Yeah, we're way too soon to tell if they're going to do that, but I don't think that they're going to miss the opportunity to do at least a heat rate version of this, right? The pose, ha ha ha, ha yeah. Yeah, the pose is a really cool pose. It can do the body slam pose too. I can't obviously show it that well, but I will definitely capture good photos of it. Where is Angerus? We need him. No Angerus in this. We're done with comparisons. Sorry, Juan. It's okay. Where I find it. You can find Angerus. Yeah, if you're in the United States, it's available through just about any retailer right now. But if you're outside the country, a little bit harder to pick that up. You'll have to go to like a secondhand market, like on Mandarake, because it's a Bandai premium item. So they don't. It's done. Final message: Legion Puff versus Squid Dora. Godzilla, King of Kaiju. Oh wow, didn't realize about the Heisei. Yeah, yep. I want to know something. Can't wait for mine to arrive this week from HLJ. Worth the duties for sure. Yo, I saw somebody shared a screen of their duties. I don't know if it's worth the duties, man. I don't know what you paid, but if you're going through DHL, they shared like they're paying almost like $180 or something like that, or 170 something. That's a lot. That's a lot, but I get it if you already ordered it from them and you feel locked in. Like that's just what it is. But yeah, they don't do DDP. They do not do DDP, which is duties delivery paid. So you're gonna get hit with DHL brokerage fees as well as the tariff duties. The tariff duties is not. It's honestly the tariff part is the drop in the bucket, but the brokerage sucks. Are his dorsals soft or smooth? For this figure, they're sharp. They're definitely
Very sharp.
detailed too. There's some texturing. Yeah. I wonder if Monster Arts will ever do Kaiser Ghidorah or Death Ghidorah. I think that Kaiser Ghidorah is more of a reality than Death Ghidorah at the moment. So we shall see.
In due time.
Thank you guys for soundtracking me making chill dogs and subsequently burning my mouth on said chili dogs. Good hanging out with you guys. Hey, thanks, Uncle Joe. Awesome. Glad you enjoyed the stream. Badass metal build Gundams are sold here in the US. Excited to see what silliness they do with Skyrim. Yeah, it'll be interesting. Now, when they're sold here in the US, are they sold on the Premium Bandai USA shop or are they sold in general retail? Because here's the thing. If you're going to reference Big Bad Toy Store, you have to remember that they import themselves if they can't get them through distribution here in the United States.
For a while, you could pick up a metal build at Barnes & Noble or your standard hobby shop, comic book places, the whole nine. Like, they're not a rarity. So they are out and about. I don't know about what this line's going to do, though.
Right. Yeah, it's all brand new. We have no idea. I'm still learning stuff. Tamashi's getting back to me with more details about this figure when it becomes available. So, but yeah, let's see here. I would like to have Deskidora in line since the design and colors are so unique. I mean, here's the thing. The Mothra Rebirth series is on the surveys. They just haven't cracked into it just yet. So it's an eventual, right? Let's see here. This for Destroya figure, did that figure get hit with the tariffs or is that regular price $245? So yeah, everything that's being brought to the United States, it's all being hit with a 30% tariff. If it's going through the port system and being distributed in the United States, it's getting hit with 30% tariffs right now. If you decide to import it, it's a little bit different because the shops that we are importing from, they're not marking these figures that they're from China. They're marking them that they're from Japan. And because of that, it's a 15% tariff that you get hit with. And if an online import shop offers delivery duty paid, then that means you're only just going to pay the tariff, which is a 15% charge. You don't have to worry about brokerage fees. So you just have to do a little bit of research. So far, I can tell you the ones that do duty delivery paid is Hobby Genki and Amazon Japan. Those ones do delivery duty paid. HLJ doesn't. They when they ship it to you, you have to pay all those customs and all that stuff. So it's not fun.
Yeah, nah.
I'm still waiting to hear back from folks. Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from folks that ordered from Hobby Search and AmiAmi. I don't order from those guys anymore. I haven't ordered from them in a long, long time. But I'm waiting to hear back from those people that did order from them to tell us what that situation looks like. Only thing about metal builds are expensive, very pricey, like $300 to $500. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this figure, this new Mechagodzilla figure, is not going to be for everybody. This is going to be for the super deep pockets core collector for sure.
Yeah, and that line has always been that way. It's not something that's just randomly coming about. Like metal builds, even back in the day, were not cheap, so it's not a new thing.
Yeah, and a part of that is because the figures are largely made out of die-cast frame, is what I've read into. So it's
a lost art.
It's very expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Train accessory would just be fine. Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Speaking of Mothra, I hope Mothra 2003 or Leo Mothra will join the line soon. Kind of wild. We'll only have 92, and I think bugs are hard to make in the line.
Bugs.
I think that's the deal. Like, we've only seen Mothra and Batra done twice, and then we just recently got Megaguirus, and we also got Legion, which is a bug, right? So I think bugs are hard. Yeah, it's big bug.
Yeah, huge.
They surely need to re-release Destroya. It is being re-released. It's coming out. There's a new Tokyo Decisive Battle Tokyo Waterfront Edition. Yeah, it's a mouthful. The title is a mouthful. Very Japanese. Chase Gorton, do you think this Mechagodzilla will be in scale with Monster Arts? No, it will not be. No, it's, as far as I'm aware, this line is generally in the 9 to 10 inch scale, or no, 8 to 9 inch scale. But if it's a Godzilla character, I would imagine it'd be even taller, maybe 10 inches max. Yeah, I remember seeing the badass Destiny Gundam being 310 years. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
expecting this to be a $350 figure,
yeah. I remember Destiny Gundam. That
maybe
was
400.
huge.
Let's see here. Bugs. Thanks, Robo Lizard. Bugs.
Boogs.
Leo would be awesome. How
Yeah.
much? Mexican Lizard says, how much does that Godzilla cost? This Godzilla here costs $130 MSRP in the United States. It is available on sites like eNight Media, Kappa Hobby for a little bit less. You can get a pre-order discount through them if they're not sold out already. In Japan, if you use US currency to order it, it's as low as like $76 or something like that. But the problem is that import brings everything up shipping wise. Oh no, he tipped over. But that's, yeah, you're looking around that price right there. The price difference between different places is huge. In China, it may only cost 500 RMB, but in Japan, it costs 900,000 yen after discount. Yeah. And that's a testament to, I say this a lot, and some people don't want to believe it, or they just, the price difference. So yeah, I was saying that the price difference in China and Japan, one of the things to keep in mind is that when a company is paying for product to be made, the charge is made in what's going to give the most value to the folks in China, right? So, for example, when American companies like Super 7 go to buy product to have it manufactured in China, China charges Super 7 in American dollars because there's more value there. But in Japan, it's the other way around. They charge in Chinese yuan, I think is what it's called, to Japan because their currency is more than Japan's currency. It's valued more. So that's why there's such a big discrepancy when it comes to figures like Haya Toys. Like, they make their figures in China. They have all these perks and stuff like that. They're able to make those figures for such a significantly cheaper price. Folks like in the United States, in Japan, that make their toys, they can't compete with that. They can't. If they were to sell their figures as low as those prices, they would be losing money because of their overhead that they have. So what you're seeing with the constant rise in price for Monster Arts and other lines is it's because of the fluctuation of the markets, depreciation of a currency, or tariff duties, all that other stuff. And not to mention the amount of time it takes to work on these figures too. Like Legion took 2 years to make. They have to price this figure to account for that 2 years of being manufactured before it even hit to the actual factories, right? So if it takes longer to work on a figure, and the figure is going to also be a super niche monster like Legion, right? They're going to charge so much more. Now, granted, I'm there with everybody else. $560 is like way too much for that figure. Like, I had originally thought that figure was going to be $350, but that's the reality that we live in now, is that the current times to make brand new sculpts cost significantly more from the folks in Japan than the folks that are making them in China. So that's just kind of how it is. Same thing with America. Stuff in the US market, like Super 7, I think they raised their prices a smidge too. So a little bit different though, because our currency is it's not depreciated as much as Japan's. So we have a little bit more dollar power behind it. So it only went up a little bit. Okay. That was enough of that. Okay. Very understandable. Bugs are cool, weird critters. Let's see here. Was there any differences between Godzilla 2002 and 3? There were some small minor adjustments in the head, in the neck area, and then in the obviously the torso area too. But it is a modified version of the suit. I think they put more animatronic stuff in the 2003 suit to make it more expressive. I have this special effects books that talk about the differences. So, but that's kind of like a summary of what changed. 3-pack with Mothra Lightspeed. Oh, achoo. Hey, thanks, man. Bless you. Digital Dev says, I hope Monster Arts will make a Grand Ghidorah eventually. It's on the list to do. I mean, it's not on the list to do directly like as a monster named, but the movie is listed there, so. Eternal Mothra would be an exclusive. I mean, all of them would be an exclusive. Even Mothra itself in the Godzilla line is an exclusive, so yeah, better believe it. The tariffs shocked Godzilla so much he tipped over. It's true. Oh, you're talking about when the figure tipped over earlier. Yeah. That was funny. That's weird. Godzilla moved. Your table is haunted. You know what happened was the cat rubbed up against. I have a little cat scratch thing around the table leg, and he rubbed up against it, and that caused him to fall. I know I was banished. I don't know what happened. I'm gonna skip all this because this was stuff that you already talked about. Going a little bit further down here. What would you... I like this question right here. What figure would you want to see get this new level of engineering? All of them? All of them.
You have to pick one.
All of them need new articulation engineering.
You can only have one.
Really? Just one? Give me
Just
Godzilla
one.
1975 with this new articulation. That's what I want. Just that one.
Perfectly fine with that.
84 Godzilla, or sorry, 84 getting new level of articulation would be ironic since he's such a brick in the movie. It's also a Heisei suit. Well, it's not a Heisei suit. It's a Showa era suit, but it's a Heisei design, right? So it'd be interesting to see its articulation. The tail is different too. The tail on that Godzilla is much more different than the traditional Heisei tail. So it could actually be another GMK Godzilla tail situation. Hoping for 84-98 figures. Hey, hope big or go home.
That's how you have to do it.
2014 is a good choice. Yeah, Rob, oh, there he is. Yeah, we're all good to go with that. I'm hoping for 98. Oh, we're seeing some 98 love in here. Look at that.
Yes.
Let's keep going down. I see. Thank you, guys. I might have skipped a little bit too much right there. Let's see here. Destroy All Monsters pack with the Godzilla Minion. Just, I don't know about that. That'd be an expensive pack. I'd love to get a Godzilla 84 figure, but the gimmick is the chest goes up and down. No, they would save that for Cybot Godzilla. That's what they would do.
I'd love if they actually did that. Give Cybot some
let's see
love.
here. That and I suspect they don't have ship the figure across seas, so it's way cheaper in China. Yeah, they don't have to do any shipping. But I mean, the other company, yeah, exactly. Like China isn't going to pay to ship their product because the product is already in China, whereas Japan and United States, they're having to pay to ship it. You know, so that is the truth of the situation there. So let's see what else is there. Do you think they'll make a really cool Shin Godzilla with the DVDs for the 10th anniversary? I don't know if they're going to do DVDs for the 10th anniversary. I guess we'll have to wait and see. I think they are going to do something for Shin Godzilla for Monster Arts, though.
Joy. Yay.
What is an average price of Monster Arts figures? I would say at this point, your average price is probably $120. Let's see here. Are the anime Godzilla Ghidorah on the list of characters? They're not directly named, but the movies are referenced. If you want to... in fact, if you guys want to participate in these surveys, the Godzilla 2000 survey is now available, so I know some of you guys have it. You should take the survey if you own the figure, because the survey is feedback on the figure. But let me pull it up and I will give it to you guys in the chat. And you guys can take the survey and see the monsters towards the end of the list. They're listed there. So give me 1 second. You do need a translating plugin for your web browsers because it's all in Japanese. So, but you guys are welcome to take this. I just put it in the chat. This is the Godzilla 2000 survey. You can also find the survey on my website. If you don't have time to take it right now, you can go back to the Godzilla 2000 page and take it later. There have been no new additions to it since the Legion survey, so it's the same stuff. They already have the 4K Blu-ray being sold now. No DVDs. Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's going to be any new 10th anniversary stuff that they're going to do in Japan for DVD stuff. Movie Monster Series Tag Protector Peeps in shambles looking at how the X2 is attached to the new 89 figure. Rob, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, I was answering a text message. I need to. What was the question?
Movie Monster Series Tag Protector Peeps in shambles looking at how the X2 is attached to the new 89 figure.
Okay, so I almost had a heart attack for that as well because I thought they were both. I thought both the X2 and the tag were on the same hanger, but I have seen pictures of the X2 being on its own hanger along with the tag. So I believe they're separate. I hope that's the case because I'm gonna have to keep the X2 attached if it's on the tag hanger. That's just how it's gonna have to be. Ugh.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Michael, do you know the difference between 65 and 66 suits? Yes, I do. When you think Haya GMK,
January.
I'm guessing you're asking when it's going to be released. It's next year for sure, probably. I mean, I don't know. I don't keep track of Haya stuff. I just know that they're severely delayed in their stuff.
Yes.
Imagine our reactions if Zilla was revealed. Oh, I already know everybody's reactions. They're all going to basically come back and apologize for every single thing they said about Monster Arts.
True.
Because what's going to happen is Tamashi's going to lock it and just say, you have to apologize in order to get this figure.
That's right. Apologize.
Michael going for the greedy answer. Yep. 1975 is a goated pick. Yeah, I think so. I think 1975 would benefit from the new articulation for sure. It's a very spry figure, or character. They should make a new Heisei mold with the level of possibility. I don't know. I want it to happen, but the way that the Heisei figures move and are designed, I just don't know if it would lend itself well to this, but I'm there with you. I would love to see it. Let's see here. Would love to see Scarlet Earth repaint at some point in the future. Yo, that could be a new Movie Graphic Plus version of it. What do you think, Rob?
Well, if that's what they're going to do, I am by liberty and law to partake. Because we never got a Scarlet Godzilla. Well,
yeah.
We did get a tiny, tiny little vinyl figure of Scarlet Godzilla, but that doesn't count. So yes.
I've noticed that Toho is seemingly not naming it Scarlet Godzilla in merchandise. They're naming it Mechagodzilla City Godzilla.
Yeah. But
so interesting.
It's Scarlet Godzilla.
It is. Deep down inside, right?
Yeah.
He fell again. Yeah, he did.
He did.
I put him back up, though. Whoa, there's a lot of Godzilla 98 talk going on now. What have we done?
Good.
Yeah. We got a reply, Josh, right there. Take a look at it. He says he'd love a Scarlet Godzilla Earth. He'd love it. It'd be so cool to have a Godzilla figure with broken dorsal spines. Yeah, it would be cool. Rob, it would be cool, right?
It would be.
We're not crazy. It would be cool.
It would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, it would be.
Oh, I'm cooked. In Brazil, it's going to cost it. Yep. I'm sorry. If you're from Brazil, I'm so sorry. There's a lot of tariff stuff going on, duties and all that other stuff there. Yeah, I did the survey, and there are a lot of cool things to vote for. 84 was on there too. Yep. Just remember that the surveys, it's not a contest with the surveys. It's just they're polling for feedback. So there's no like winner with surveys. It's just like they look at the polling data, and whoever are the top monsters, those are the ones that they focus on. And just remember that it always takes a year in advance. And if anybody says the question like, oh, they don't do anything off these surveys, it's like, bro, the last 5 years since these surveys have been introduced, they've been doing things from these surveys. All of these monsters that are new molds have come from these surveys, so it's really cool.
Yes.
I hope Monster Arts will do a Grand Ghidorah figure. Yeah. I wish the movie graphic Shin Godzilla came with a correct head and the split jaw, since it's supposed to be Awakening version. Yeah. The thing is they're just not doing. They're not going to do accessories with those, unfortunately. So, but it is a very pretty looking figure, and I am excited to get it.
And if you want to add a little bit of cope to that, I mean, he did glow purple before his jaw split, so you could kind of just call it a charging version. I know it's cope, I know, but there's a naming convention there.
Yep, there is. Yep, unfortunately. Hi, Tass. I'm Gojira, and I'm Gojira is the goated goober, but changed my profile. Okay, thanks, man. Special color for Zilla. Nah, they're not going to do anything for the animated series. That's different company, Western property, animated. They're if they ever do a 1998 thing, it's just going to be the movie. They will not do an animated series variant of it at all.
It's got to be wrapped up in a
I appreciate you guys taking the time to go through and engage with every comment. It's always awesome chatting with you guys. You are welcome, Uncle Joe. You know, when I'm standing up and I'm posing and doing the figure stream and stuff like that, the way that everything is set up here, I don't get to see the chat as well. I can look at it on my phone, but I can't really highlight chats like this. So we save it to the very end, and this is our, decompression and engage with you guys for that stuff. But when I'm on the floor doing all that stuff, it's just to also keep the stream streamlined. If I were to look at comments and answer comments as we're going through it the whole process, yeah, it would be very it would just make this stream go so much longer to get through where we needed to get through. So, but thank you, Uncle Joe, for the kind words. If the X2 does end up being attached to one tag, we will be in the same boat, Rob. Hopefully not. Uh-oh.
Yeah, hopefully not.
Well, you'll have company, right? You'll have company. Connell, yes. Brazilian. Okay, we're getting towards... we're almost caught up with the chat. This is great. I love being caught up with the chat.
Hell yes.
Is there a chance older molds can get... No. I was talking with them, and when it comes to older releases, they're not going to go out of the way to make brand new engineering for them, because it would significantly increase the costs for those older figures, because the molds already exist, and the articulation joints that they've made for them already exist. So they can reissue those as decisive battle versions and all those other stuff for a nominal price. If you were to compare new mold today, like anything that's made brand new is going to be like the $120 plus range, whereas an older mold, the work has already been put into it. All they're doing is just changing colors and stuff. Now, they might change some things on it. Like, for example, say that the general audience was just like, we really hate the way that this head sculpt was. That's what they did with the 1999 Kyoto Gamera version. They re-sculpted the head, but they didn't change anything else with the sculpt. So the cost increase of that figure was from that new head. Mechagodzilla 1993, that had some nominal upgrades throughout every release. They added articulation and Super Godzilla to the tail. They redesigned the whole neck system for flight mode. So the increase price went from like $86 to $115. And then for Super Mechagodzilla, the Makahari pack, we can't really definitively say what that price would be, because that was like a 3-pack. So, but they went a step further, and they made it so that the eyes were swappable. So things like that can still happen. But as far as internals, though, I wouldn't count on it, unfortunately. Let's see here. Shin 4K was peak in cinema. Oh, I'm glad you enjoyed it, man.
Indeed.
I have the 4K disc already, so I did not feel compelled to watch it again in theaters. I was good. I was like, you know what? Rob's gonna watch it for me.
And I did, because I saw it 4 times.
Yep. There you go. Let's see here. Sam's art. Do you think monsters like Fatalis? Oh, we got some Monster Hunter questions here. Yeah. Fatalis or Lagaricrus? I don't know how you say that, but could be possibly made in Monster Arts line? I haven't heard much about Monster Hunter figures lately at all. Monster Hunter is not dead. It is a line that is still in production. It's just that it's just not as, the bread and butter like Godzilla figures are. So there's still more Monster Hunter on the way. I think we might be seeing some new one. We might be seeing a new one at Tamashii Nation 2025. But cross your fingers. Hopefully we'll see one.
Hopefully.
Let's see here. Oh, what's this? I missed this one. Sorry. This one's Josh Knott. What are a few multi-figure packs that you hope that they do in the future? Give us a Godzilla Jr. with Destroy Evolution set. That's an easy one right there. 94 Godzilla with Little Godzilla. I know I made I made a teaser about that. That was an April Fool's joke, but I would love to see that in realization. Those are the two that I'd like to see.
I would like to see Shin Godzilla Forms 2 and 3 with new paint apps, if that could ever possibly happen. And do evolution sets count as multi-packs or nah?
Well, if it's like an evolution set, I think so. Yeah, give us a singular point evolution set, right?
Singular Point and Orga.
I don't know if Orga would be an evolution set, though. I think Orga would be swappable pieces. Oh, you mean a Millennium?
Yeah, like the UFO, the Millennium, and then big guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that would be pretty dope. Orga
I wouldn't mind
evolution
Big
set.
Mouth
Yes,
Orga though.
that would be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I love that Millennium guy, even though he was on screen for like a minute.
Juan says we need Gemstone Godzilla from Monster Arts. Hey, it's on the list, man. One of the Showa Godzillas I want is the Raids Again Godzilla. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Give us some 55 love. That would be pretty
Agreed.
dope.
Yes.
Guys, we're going to be wrapping up the stream in 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes. This is the 10-minute warning right here. We're going to be wrapping it up. So we're going to go through these last questions right here, and we're going to sign off. Rob's got, 11:20 over in your area right now? So we want to make sure Rob gets a good night's sleep, right? Oh,
Yeah.
10:20? Oh, yeah, it's 7:20. Why was I thinking it was 8:20? All right, that's... Goofiest Goopers, that sucks. We can't get old molds with better articulation. Yeah, I mean, it's just not probably going to happen because there's a cost issue. They want to try to make them still affordable if they can. Rogue, Eigen, Rex, and Gemstone would be goated. Yeah, they would be.
Agreed. Megalon.
Let's see here. Oh, wow. Let's see here. Josh. He says, if they change the Gamma Head based off the feedback, how come they haven't done that with their recent Legendary Godzilla figures? Well, the thing about that is that the Legendary Godzillas have always been praised up until the Haya figure came out. Then all of a sudden, everybody was kind of dogging on it, right? And at that point, with movie schedule, tie-in and all that other stuff, they just didn't change it. And that's kind of the story that we're going with on that, is that is the reason why. But also, you have to remember that most of the feedback about the head sculpt is largely from the US audience and not so much the Japanese audience. The Japanese audience doesn't seem to have an issue with the current head sculpts of the figure. There is an acknowledgement, though, since the Haya figure was released, that it does not look as good as it could now in Japan side of things, but that's where that is right now. So maybe with that coming back, we will get an updated Legendary 2019 or 2021 Godzilla or something like that in the future. Wouldn't that be dope, Rob?
I think that would be friggin' awesome.
All right. Let's see here. I know this is early to ask, but is it possible to do a special color version of Godzilla 2000? Could it come with a ship that allows him to mention him and the Dimension Tide effect? I don't know about the ship, and I don't know about Dimension Tide. That would be pretty cool if Dimension Tide would be included. But I think you can count on a heat ray version for sure in the future. Something that would be awesome would be a set with Final Wars Godzilla Frozen. I don't know about Frozen, but I think that there's some cool things that you can do with Final Wars Godzilla. Uncle Joe says, MonsterArts Shin Form 1 when? I mean, couldn't you just take the tail off of...
Kamada-kun? Yeah. I mean, I would love it if somebody did Aqua-kun. I would, but I think we just have the
Is that what we call it? Aqua-kun?
Hideo Kojima named him Aqua-kun, and I kind of just stuck with that because Tail-kun kind of just a little lame. So I stuck with Aqua-kun.
Yeah. S.H.MA TMA. I think that Tamashi's a little hesitant to do legendary monsters that are original, especially with feedback given for Scar King and Shimo. And it's not. It's because they're not, one-to-one CGI models like the Haya figures, but it's all because of production, time and everything. They were hand sculpted figures, and that's why they look the way that they look. But I think there's some hesitancy to make legendary original creations. So, but that's why Haya Toys is around. They've got CGI models. Just stick with them for your MonsterVerse originals. Articulated slab of water and tail.
10 out of 10.
We have Dithy333 off-topic question for Rob, but are 8-inch figures the greatest thing that would happen this year, mentioning the MMS Giga series?
I think it's up there. Right now, I think the greatest thing that's happening this year is this Godzilla 2000 with his shifting joints jutting in and out. I think that's pretty awesome, but it is cool knowing that there is going to be a movie monster series line focusing on 8-inch figures again. I'm quite excited.
For sure.
Yeah.
S.H.MA and Haya GMK 4-pack, all of the kaijus win. Eventually, maybe. Hopefully. I for real think 55 Godzilla would be crazy cool. Yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody disagrees with you. Thank you guys for tonight's interactions and streams. Hey, you're very welcome, Chase. Kind of excited for Gemstone having this kind of engineering. Yeah, Gemstone would go hard with this new engineering. Absolutely.
Yes.
Someday they'll do a 2.0 of suits, but I don't know. I think it's different for Godzilla. Godzilla is hard to do compared to SH Figuarts. I think those are easier to upgrade, and MonsterArts is just more expensive to do. So I think that if they're able to turn profit for existing stuff, I mean, you have to remember that the people that complain about these things, they're just a vocal minority compared to the mass majority, which is the general buyer. So I think that sales speak to when they decide to upgrade things. Plus survey feedback, too. EST gang, Uncle Joe says to Rob.
Hey, Joe, what do you know? Good song.
D-Man 1984 says, will there be an 84 Godzilla consideration for the MonsterArts line? Yeah, it is under consideration at the moment. I posted it earlier. I'm going to post it again in the chat. You guys can take the survey for the Godzilla 2000 figure. 84 Godzilla is listed on there. Haya 91 did that. I wish they at least changed the head sculpt for the movie graphic 2014 Godzilla figure. It's funny. I was talking to them about that, and when we were at Comic-Con, and they They're under. There's currently at Tamashii Nations. They're switching it up. There's a new head of Monster Arts and everything. So he didn't know. This is from the last guy that was in charge who did the 2014 Godzilla. But as far as he knows, he was like, "Oh, I didn't know that there was like feedback of that. You know, people didn't like the 2014 Godzilla sculpt." So they might be looking at it, but I don't think it's going to change. I think that it's already set in motion. So, but it doesn't get released until July of next year. So you never know. I think that they're very proud of it too, because it is a Yuji Sakai sculpt from the ground up versus using CGI files. So I think they're very proud of that too.
Hmm.
Let's see here. Michael, what is your favorite Godzilla monster arts in your collection? My top three, they always change, but currently right now it's Biollante. Godzilla 2000 is up there. I think Godzilla 2000 is my number 3, and then the Kiryus are my number 2s. Yeah, because this new Godzilla, guys, you're gonna love this figure. This figure does so many cool things that other ones couldn't do. It's a massive upgrade. This is more movie accurate than the original Godzilla 2000 Millennium figure. Well, yeah, because this is based off the movie. It's a suit design. The other one was just a maquette concept design. And that's what it was intended to do. That was the whole point of it. That was Yuji Sakai, who sculpts for the line. That was his opportunity to introduce it into the line. If the head is too rough, there's Kujiro's Designs upgrades. It fixes the head and feet nicely. I mean, if you really want to go that far, right? And then we got 2 more minutes on the stream, guys. 2 more minutes. I'm trying to catch up to the comments, but you guys are so chatty today. I love it. Giga Biollante would be epic as fuck.
Yes, it absolutely
As
would.
fuck. The most exciting thing for me this year had to be Godzi Burst personally. Yeah, that line looks like a lot of fun. Not for me, but I know Rob and Kyle are all about it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You can blame this guy over here in front of the camera.
Can I see this?
For me not getting Goji Burst.
Yeah. If you want to see the side of the figure, you can go back throughout the stream and see all the different angles. I'm keeping it in this post because we're going to be wrapping it up here in just a second. But yeah, feel free to go back anytime in the stream. You guys can see all the different angles of this figure. We explore it quite in depth. Do you think they'll ever consider giving us more battle-damaged Godzilla figures like Godzilla 1971 with the burnt eye and the bone exposed hand? I know Toho's got a thing about bones and grotesque images. So, case in point, the Super 7 Meltdown Godzilla that was never supposed to exist. They said that it's never going to happen ever again. So, I think that you won't see a skeletal hand. I think you might see a head that's got burning damage, like with the eyeball. I think that's acceptable, and I think you might get like a hand that's got sludge covered in it. But I don't think you're going to see a bone hand. I don't even think even in the movie it was a bone hand either.
It wasn't fully a boned hand, but there was definitely something going on there. I don't know if it was dried sludge or skeletal, whatever.
I think it was the dried sludge after he held Hedorah up against the electro things. I think that's what made it look like that. But I have the 4K copy and I was watching it. It didn't look like it was a skeleton to me.
All right.
It was dried Hedorah doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
Yeah. Do you think they'll do Ghidra? Do you think they'll Ghidra 1972 will also be able to do crazy things? Like, no, it's a different character, different stuff on the inside of it. So, based off of a little small demo they showed us, though, it definitely looks like it can do a little bit more movement than the 91 Ghidra could. So, I'm looking forward to it. D-Man says, I'm jealous of the camera quality here. Figure looks amazing. Well, that's because we're using an R5 camera as a web camera. This is a Canon R5, so it's not a little podunk camera by any means or anything like that. So, but we're also limited to the YouTube, not YouTube, but when you're hosting a stream, you're limited to capabilities unless you pay for them, right? So, unfortunately, I am capped at for this. I am only capped at 1080p, but we're using an upscale so that it's at 2K, even though it's a 1080p stream. So that way, the YouTube algorithm picks up on it and kind of does a better compression method on it. So that's a little cheat that I figured out, and it works quite well to give it a better quality. But it's going to look even better when I eventually do the abridged version of this. It's going to be fabulous and sharp. Let's see here. Countdown. Yep, we're actually over the limit, but I'm going to wrap up these last questions and then we're going to get going. Making a custom Godzilla figure. Who thinks 2000 poster version would go hard? Yeah, it would be pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's some aftermarket 3D print bone hands for 72. Yep. Yes, there are. I've seen them. MonsterArts Galaxy Odyssey. Yes, that would be really cool. I would love to see that. Absolutely. Rob, what is your favorite movie monster figure?
Next question.
Love it. There's too many to pick.
Way too many.
When does the abridged version? Robo Lizard, you pull my chain, yo. Yeah, I'm so backlogged on those. I'm still working on the Mechagodzilla one right now. It's just I've been so busy, and hopefully now that this is the last figure we've got revealed until November, or that's coming out until November, so this is going to give me some extra time to get some stuff done. Let's see here. What's the Jimmy of Average Foot says, what is the first thing you look for when looking at figures? It's the sculpt. For me, I look at the sculpt first. I look at to see how it looks and everything, and then I start messing with the articulation very quickly after that, though. Because for me, it's more about the articulation and the movement that it can provide. If it looks good already, then I can forgive it, even if it looks off a little bit, sort of thing. But for the most part, that's what I look at the sculpt first. On the sculpt, specifically, I'm just looking at the overall detail. I'm not looking at anything in particular. Like, I know some people focus right on the eyes first. That's the first thing they look at. For me, it's just, I just take the whole figure in. Okay, so, yeah. I know you're messing with me, Robo Lizard. Okay, guys, that is, oh, you know what? Hold on a second. Let me, I always pause my camera for this because I don't want to record locally for all this stuff. So let me just hit the record button there and we will wrap it up over here. All right. Okay, so that is a wrap on our stream tonight, guys. Thank you so much for joining me and Shinrob Jira over here at exploring the Godzilla 2000 figure. It has been a blast. This was such a fun figure to go through. Seeing all the different types of articulation engineering that they've been put into it. If you just joined the stream now, we're unfortunately we're ending it, but you can go back and watch the whole thing. Look for an abridged version in the future. That's probably about the 40-minute, 50-minute mark. That's going to be just condensing everything all into one little spot. But thank you guys all for sticking around. All of you guys, all 27 viewers of you guys. If you guys have been here since the very beginning, you guys rock. You really do, because we've been streaming for how long? 3 hours and 23 minutes, it looks like. So,
Jesus.
Yeah. Maybe even longer. You know what? I paused the thing, actually. I think it's longer than that. Yeah, 4 hours and 16 minutes. So,
Good
yeah,
God.
We've been going for quite some time. But this was a lot of fun. I know, it didn't seem like that. It felt like it was like maybe 3 hour stream to me. But yeah, I guess we just hit the 4 hour mark. So, again, thank you guys so much for joining us on our stream tonight. I'm going to be on a break for videos for a while now. You'll see some shorts here and there with variance comparison stuff, but you won't be seeing anything from me probably until the end of November when 1972 Ghidorah comes out. I'm really looking forward to that release. Other than that, you can look forward to seeing me and Rob on the Figure Mania show streams. We've got some big events coming up soon just to recap with you guys, we have Godzilla Day that's on November 3rd. That's coming up soon. And then we also have Tamashii Nation 2025 that starts on, I believe, November 13th or the 15th, one of those days. So there's going to be a lot of Godzilla stuff that's going to be announced there. Usually at the Godzilla Day, they show off maybe one Monster Arts, but there's always more that's going to be revealed at Tamashii Nation 2025. So thank you so much. Oh, and I was just signing off, and look at this beautiful man, what he just did. Surprise! Last minute super chat. Ignore this. Nope, it's too bad. I just highlighted it. I'm sorry. I can do whatever I want now. Oh no. Look, thank you, Robo Lizard. I appreciate it, man. All right, guys. That is it for us tonight, though. I'm signing off. Thank you so much. We look forward to seeing and covering the new stuff from Monster Arts and Tamashii Nations in the future. Until then, we're going to let you all go. Relax, have fun, enjoy the fall weather as it hits in your areas. Rob, thank you for joining, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Always have a lot of fun with this. Always look forward to it, man.
And we'll see y'all later.